All right, who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Woo! Yeah. We are episode 38 of the Dirt Life Show. Tonight, we have Brook Jensen coming on. She's an awesome young racer in herself. We can't wait to talk to her, man. She's got a really inspirational story of overcoming Lyme disease and stuff like that. She was referred by Shelby Anderson, who faced the same thing. So we can't wait to talk to her. But, yeah, welcome to 38 of the Dirt Life Show. My name is Georgie Hamill, and to my left, I got my co-host, Casey Peck. How's it going, dude?
What's up? Doing good.
Did you get to go on any bicycle rides this weekend?
I did, and I was going to comment about your little bit of a disaster, but it sounded like it ended up well. It was just you had some weather all around. But, yeah, that's awesome to see you getting out, past the normal loop that you've been doing. So
yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Like out of the comfort zone a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Good. I don't know how to explain it though, because I only went 31 miles, but I say only because the things that we're used to doing are longer than that, right?
Sure.
But 31 miles is a long ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was pretty proud of myself when I got back. I was like, yeah, even though it wasn't in the dirt, it was on the pavement. Right. I still achieved a couple goals, and this is something that we'll talk about with Brook actually tonight. Is how to set milestones and goals when you need to racing or you're overcoming injury and stuff. And it was cool for me to understand because I was like just doing loops around the house and just short rides, right? Mm-hmm. And then so Saturday I went out and it kind of started raining when I was just on a beach cruise in Arizona, and I was like, oh man, it was really nice, like. Maybe I'll try to go on a road bike ride on Sunday. And then so I ended up going and just like starting to pedal around, and it was like decent out. Like I wasn't like super hot, like cooking in the sun.
Right.
And then so I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I could go a little further. And the way that I went was hanging all left-hand turns, so I was like a little bit worried about it. But at the end of the ride, I was like, okay, I went through the weather, I did the distance, and I did all these little things, and I was like reviewing it in my head, and I was like, holy shit, man, like I actually went out and did this, like, and it was easier than I thought. Like some of the stuff I didn't even think about in my head that I was scared about. So
right.
when you can overcome stuff like that, it really makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
And you got to take a step back and look at it, though.
For sure.
I wanted to give myself a pat on the back. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked for you, for sure.
That's cool, man. Where'd you go riding?
We went kind of north. We did some hill stuff, towards northeast side of town.
Right on.
And then back down, just got back on the loop on the way back, and that was a mistake because the weather was nice. It was so dangerous.
Was it?
Yeah, there was way too many people. So it's good, though. I'm glad to see everybody, still. I hope it kind of stays that way. Like, the bike stuff in town is insane. Like, the companies.
It really is.
They're, sold out. It's crazy.
I was going to ask you, too. I need, faster gear to go faster down hills. Like, can I just put a bigger sprocket in the front?
Yeah, absolutly.
Yeah, I need to do that. Because I'm, way too, I'm, turbo feet going down the hill. Can't catch up.
1,000 RPM.
Yeah, pretty much making the cadence at 1,000.
Nice.
But yeah, so it was good. I think now that you said you went over there on the north side of town, I think I might try to start venturing out a little bit. I got my mojo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good.
So, all right, I started my watch party. You got yours going?
No, I blew it. I'm going to work on it.
So, yeah, we're pumped, man. I'm really excited to talk to Brook tonight. She's been communicating a little bit back and forth this week, and she's got me motivated already. We haven't even talked to her just because she's so high energy, you know what I mean? And for somebody that has Lyme disease or gone through all that stuff, to have high energy is really rare, you know what I mean? So I really like that characteristic that she has, and she's just showing a lot of motivation to be able to be a professional off-road racer, and she's really putting her heart and soul into it. So
I think it's going to be fun. Her energy seems pretty high, so
yeah, exactly.
It should be fun.
So, and then, so also tonight we have our buddy James Morgan is going to call in. He just had his birthday yesterday, so we'll have to tell James happy birthday when we get him on. We're going to talk about the UTV World Championship and the relocation of the UTV World Championship to Lake Havasu.
Where's it now?
Lake Havasu City.
That's right.
Arizona. So that'll be interesting because I'm not really I don't even know where the track's going to be at. So we'll talk to him about it. We'll kind of see what he thinks about it. And we're going to have Kristen Matlock calling in, too, the Baja 500 champion, Baja 1000 champion. I mean, she's won
That's
everything.
no joke.
Man.
Yeah.
So she's going to call in, and it'll be good to talk with her as well. We'll get her opinion on the UTV World Championship. Maybe she'll say some nice stuff about Brook. So to get the show started, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Super stoked on everybody and how they've been treating the show, man. Like to see everybody come on board at the beginning was just really awesome, and then now to see how they're kind of stepping it up, like they're growing with us, is really, really, really cool. The guys at Shock Therapy gave us the opportunity to do a little video of going out and testing with it's called the IQS, Fox IQS system. It's basically a button that changes suspension.
Was it awesome?
And it was on a Yamaha YXZ, so it's you gotta level the playing field because the suspension geometry is somewhat awesome, but doing all these things made it awesome. You know what I mean? It made it really good. And so we got to do a video for that, and so far the video has only been up for 2 days, and it's already got over 6,000 views. So it's
nice.
It's doing really good. So maybe we'll be able to pay Shock Therapy back.
Well, it's funny you say that. So my brother-in-law and our friend, Brian Clark and his dad, Joe Clark, they own a glass company. They like to dune and do all that stuff. And
what kind of car do they have?
So they have a Razor 1000S.
Bitchin'.
And Joe was pretty pumped on getting the suspension done and doing some clutch work and whatnot. Anyways, Brian told me all about him driving it. So Brian actually drove it. Joe was super pumped. He said it was just amazing. So they took it to Shock Therapy and they hooked it up.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, absolutely. Took it up there and got it taken care of. And Joe was all pumped and he told Brian about it. So Brian went and drove it. And if you don't know about Brian, Brian's actually been behind the wheel forever.
Yeah, he's does circle stuff, right?
Yep, been a dirt track racer for just ever.
So he knows how to feel a car in the seat of his pants.
Absolutely, and pretty well accomplished as well. So he knows what he's doing, and he was like, the feel of the car, it's amazing. He's like, all of a sudden, I can push it way harder, and it's just. He couldn't say enough. He was so pumped about it. I could tell that.
Dude, that's cool to hear a testament like that because
totally,
especially with one of our show sponsors.
Absolutely,
sweet man.
Well, so they're pumped. So thanks, Shock Therapy. Did
they use the Dirt Life code?
They did.
Yes. Woohoo! Go Brian. That's cool. And you said his dad's name's Joe.
Joe, yep.
Yeah. So go Brian, Joe. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
So I'll have to call Justin over at Shock Therapy tomorrow and tell him that we hooked him up, dude. That's sweet. So thank you very much to the guys at Shock Therapy. We really appreciate it. We have an awesome working relationship with them, and I'm really, really glad that we were able to test out Jeff Angel's YXZ and do a bunch of fun stuff because that was also a fun time for me as well. So
sounds like it.
It was neat to learn a little bit of video editing stuff and filming and just different stuff like that. So I'm pretty pumped. Thank you very much to the guys at KMC Wheels. Thank you very much, Ryan, for jumping on board with the show. You guys make the best products. We have a KMC Grenade wheel over there, and those are very, very quickly becoming the wheel of choice on any UTV.
Pretty sweet.
Depending on the offset that you need, but the zero offsets are preferred for the Polaris and the Can-Am cars. So those things are pretty bitchin', man. And not only do they look cool, they're really, really, really sturdy. So thank you to Ryan and all the KMC guys. Thank you to Travis Zollinger and all the boys at Zollinger Racing Products. Like I always say, man, the stuff that they make is just like bar none. The machines and the equipment that they have is just mind-blowing. So we are really, really stoked to have them on board. Thanks to the guys at Rugged Radios for doing that giveaway with us a couple weeks ago. And thank you very much to Lance and all the team at Vanessa and everybody at Solderweld, Zeke and all the boys over there. We're going to be giving away a Solderweld off-road repair kit. Even got my Solderweld shirt on tonight. And, that's going to be cool. Whoever wins that's going to have a first aid kit for their UTV. So pay attention next week. We're going to post that on social media, and you guys can win that bad boy.
What are we going to do? What's going to be the giveaway? I mean, how are we going to figure it out? Is it going to be the same kind of thing?
Yeah, but I
want to hear some testimonies. Like, I want to hear, like, the worst thing they broke and how they MacGyvered it and got it back home, like something like that. Like,
but how do you pick that though?
I don't know. That's true.
How do you pick the guy?
Yeah, that's kind
of like, how do you compare apples to apples? He's like
kind of subjective. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's like a crash reel, right? It's like who crashed the worst or who America's funniest videos. Like, how do you pick the winner? Because sometimes the third place guy is way funnier than the first place guy.
This is true.
So
so maybe just mention it. Maybe just mention what you broke and I don't know.
That's actually I got to think of something creative then.
Yeah,
let's put together something cool. But that'll be cool. So, but how do you reward somebody like?
Yeah, for breaking everything. I broke more than you did.
Who wadded it up the worst?
Yeah,
you deserve it. So the car's torn apart. I don't know if the wheels fall off, you may not be able to fix it with a solder weld repair kit. There's a good possibility, but who knows? So yeah, we're gonna give that bad boy away. So pay attention to social media for next week because we're gonna post it. So thank you very, very much to the Solder Weld guys. Happy belated Mother's Day.
I was just gonna say, shout out to the mothers.
To all the mothers yesterday. If you didn't see my personal social media post, it was pretty cool. Shout out to my mom. She's been doing pretty awesome lately too, man. So love you, Mom. Thank you very much for taking such good care of me. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Casey's mom too. Yep.
Absolutely.
Inviting me over when I was in Phoenix to try to eat some
meat pie. It's the best ever,
dude.
We got to make that happen pretty quick here.
Yeah, we definitely need to. So, and then we got a couple of people commenting in. Parker James is on. We'll talk to you in a bit, buddy. Actually, 6:12, so we'll talk to him in maybe 10 or so minutes. Brian Hawkins, what's up, dude? Vinny Tipton, how you doing, buddy? And Josh at TACMed. So, Josh, we actually have your stuff over there. I don't know if you can see it with the camera angle right now, but we have some of your
those are sweet.
Yeah, we love those things. So, thank you very much for joining us, dude. So, a couple things that I wanted to talk about today were obviously, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, but I really, really want to get into this UTV World Championship thing because, you're not a UTV racer, but you know off-road a lot. But I think you and I are on the same page as the level of confusion. Like, where's the UTV World Championship track going to be? Where are all these people going to park? Like, all this stuff. Because Lake Havasu doesn't have that huge of an area. They have this, I went to the Works race up there, and they have this, I think it's called, Crazy Horse Campground or something.
I know what you're talking about. It's like an off-road area, right?
Yeah, and there's little trails and stuff. Mm-hmm. So have you seen that then?
Yeah, but it's been a long time. But I always thought that it seemed like that area could do something, but I don't know if maybe it is
a desert race. Though?
I know. I don't know. Maybe it's a short course thing. I don't know.
You'd have to do
100 laps.
Yeah, you know how gnarly that track would be beat up after 100 laps.
But maybe it's bigger than we think, I guess.
Yeah, and that's kind of the questions that I wanted to bring up, and we can ask Parker James today too and see what he says. But hey, Brook just chimed in too. Hi, Brook. Hopefully you guys are having
Brook, how's it going?
A little party out back in the backyard, eating some tacos. But yeah, I don't know where the heck they would fit all the people and everything that's going on because
right, logistically. Although it's growing. Every time I go there, it's been a while, but seemed like I would go there once a year or so, and every time it was
Lake Havasu.
Yeah, get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and I hadn't been there in I don't know maybe 10 years or something, and I went this past year, and I think that I felt the same way, but I don't necessarily know that it's growing bigger with wide open areas. It feels
true.
And at the UTV World Championship that they held in Laughlin, it was it's kind of a little compact area for the pits, right? But they have two sections, and then they have a place where you can put the semis and stuff for the big dogs, and so they have a good amount of room,
right?
But all of the people that are staying there usually stay so you bring your let's just say a truck and a trailer, and you don't necessarily bring your huge motorhome,
right? So maybe you're parking and going in town and staying.
Yeah,
or something.
But tons of people go to the town and
right.
and stay in the hotels and hang out and eat dinner there and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I guess Havasu you can do that kind of, right? Stay at all the different hotels and stuff. So I don't know, man. I just think it's going to be crazy. I really do. But I think that it's going to be cool. I mean, having it in Arizona.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty awesome.
One of the things that I was going to bring up is so in Nevada, you can't really ride UTVs on the street. It's not like Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. So the BLM and everybody would mandate that you can only go a certain path to get to Tech and Contingency because Tech and Contingency is at a hotel in a parking lot.
Oh, gotcha.
And you have to you can do photos and videos and media ops and stuff like that. And you take your car through Tech. And actually, Parker James, who's going to call in just a little bit, he helped with some of the Tech and Contingency stuff. But anyways, I I don't know where they would do that. And in Arizona, if you can drive on the street, does that mean everybody's going to have a free fall and they're going to be going bananas?
Sturgis.
Dude, I feel like maybe it could be the UTV Sturgis.
UTV Sturgis.
So UTV World Sturgis.
Nice.
World Championship Sturgis. Yeah, it might be, man. So I don't know. I think it's awesome. I really, really do. And if it's in October, you can bring the boat too.
No kidding.
You can bring the jet skis. So all these people are going to be like going to the UTV World Championship, but they're going to have Boat World Championship at the same time too, because there's going to be a bunch of people out there.
Sounds dangerous.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be like spring break times 50.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Because there's people that come from Australia, Canada. I mean, like, it's a pretty big deal.
Well, maybe it's perfect weather if you think about it. I mean, it might be on the warm side. It won't be hot. It'll be warm. But all over people coming from all over the world, you know, a lot of times that weather is already getting terrible for people that otherwise wouldn't be able to ride or race. So
yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's a great idea.
Well, since we're a little bit confused on it, like if you guys want to chime in to anybody that's watching or listening to the show, chime in and tell us what you think about the UTV World Championship going to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and we'll see what you guys think too, because I think it'll actually be a really good thing. I think it'll have a lot of room for growth. Nevada's laws and things like that are limiting things that you can do, and I think Arizona's a little looser on that kind of stuff, so we may be able to grow the UTV World Championship a little bit more and have those guys just have a bigger event. So I think it'll be cool for the Martelli brothers and for the UTV industry, you know, as a whole. So I can't read that one right there. It's Remy Jensen. Is that what it says?
Hey, guys, we're having tacos and watching on the back patio. Awesome. Can't wait to hear from Brook Jensen.
Oh, yeah.
We're super proud of her.
Must be her mom or her dad, yeah.
Thanks, Remy. That's awesome.
Dude, what the heck?
I want tacos.
We should have went over to their house and had the show.
Where's my tacos, darn it?
So I do think it's going to be pretty cool, though. I actually, you might get mad at me for saying this, was thinking about racing it.
No, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have a...
that would be quite the comeback kid, wouldn't it?
It kind of gives me... It, like, turns my heart a little bit thinking about it. But, like, I have this plan.
Okay.
Because you know me. Like, I always have the structure and a plan, right?
Since we're this tall.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have a plan, and I'm going to try to start my execution tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Awesome.
We'll see what happens.
Let's start getting out on those different bike rides.
For real.
I'll be part of your training regimen.
Okay, good.
I like it.
I need to go down to the bike shop with you and see if I can have those guys let me rent a mountain bike so I can train my eyes to move a little quicker than on the road.
Maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah. So I need to get these bad boys loosened up a little bit.
My buddies at Broadway Bikes, shout out, sorry, would for sure help us out.
Well, they do Trek, right?
They do.
I've been looking at some of those bicycles. Those bicycles are bitching too.
They do a bunch now because it's so crazy.
Oh, really?
But yeah, they're a Trek dealer.
Oh, right on. So yeah, maybe I'll have to go talk to those guys. And I was looking at your bicycle too. That thing's freaking sweet. And they also just opened up a series. Well, I don't know if it's just opened up, but there's a series in Texas at a place called Texplex. This place is insane, dude.
Is that the indoor one that they were talking about?
No, this is outdoor. So this is like UTV moto, UTV supercross. Like it's got like a dirt bike track, a quad track, UTV. Like it is insane. Like this is like God's gift to motorsports, like or to off-road motorsports. Like it is super duper cool. So we are planning on going over there, and this is part of my execution plan to go race on June 20th. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't know if I'll be able to race a unicorn because I don't know the safety rules.
Gotcha.
But if not, maybe I can borrow somebody's car and go out there and just rip around. So
what would be, not to go too bad on a sidebar, what would be different about unicorn?
The cage where it's mounted, the mounting points, and the opening doors.
Oh, okay.
So,
gotcha.
Just like if somebody were to drive into the side of you, the unicorn wouldn't really protect me.
Right. So it should be a full.
Yeah, like the bumper could probably hit my leg or something if they cruised in. So, yeah, James, you can call in anytime, man. So we're ready for you, dude. So I think it'll be pretty cool though, because that freaking Texplex looks insane. Like it looks so cool, man. They have one a berm. Like, remember Anaheim Supercross 95, 96-ish? And like Emig and McGrath and everybody, they would land off triples, and instead of cutting the inside line, they could stand up and rail those wall berms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't even have to let off. You were like third gear on a Supercross track on a 250 going around. Like, you didn't put your foot down, nothing. You just ripped around the turn because it was like a wall, right?
I do.
So they have something similar to that for UTVs. You come off this like big tabletop, and you land a little bit whip, like a little bit sideways, because it kind of points you in the right direction and gets the vehicle set up. And then you hit a wall and rip around it like Daytona track style.
Nice.
Like, so it looks really, really cool. So
sounds awesome.
It'll be nice to check out. So,
dang, why'd you have to take it back so far?
I know, right?
96.
95, 96. What's up, Parker James? How you doing, buddy?
Good, George. How are you, bud?
We're doing awesome, bro. So what's happening, man? You had your birthday yesterday?
Yeah, I just kind of hung out with Mom. The funny story about my birthday is I was actually born on Mother's Day.
Dude, that's a trip for your mom, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So how's that work for your mom then? Do you guys both celebrate then, or how's that work? Because kind of taken away from her glory a little bit there, bud. Celebrating your birthday on Mother's Day?
Yeah, what I do for my birthday is I take care of my mom. I kind of put my birthday off on the side burner.
Oh, cool.
Take care of her and do whatever she wants me to do to make her happy because it's Mother's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's nice of you, man. Like, I appreciate that. That's a good thing to be doing, especially right now too, with all the craziness that's going on in the world. So, I've known you for a long time, man. You've done a lot of cool things in the UTV industry. I mean, you've been, obviously friends with Corey Sappington for a long time, but you've also done some stuff with Best in the Desert. And what do you think about the UTV World Championship moving to Havasu?
I always thought that when this race started, it could always grow, and I'm excited to see what could happen with Havasu. They always have the works race, so why not throw a desert race into the mix, huh?
Where do you think it's going to go, though? Because that works track is pretty short.
So there's I'm not really sure because I know they got a quarry there, but they got so many trails out there in Havasu that you can go on.
So you think they would connect some of those?
I think so. They would, they're saying it's going to be a 60-mile loop. So I'm really interested to see what that 60 miles is going to be.
Dude, we should talk to our girl Lucretia because I can almost guarantee they're going to use her as ask her a whole bunch of questions and see where things are at.
Yeah, she'll know for sure.
Oh, 100%. Lucretia, that's her turf, and I think with her knowing where to go and where she thinks the course should be is 100%.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it's good. I think it's going to be super cool, first of all, because Lake Havasu, I think what you said, when you hit the nail on the head, and I kind of commented on this a little bit earlier, was it has the opportunity to grow way bigger than what Laughlin would give it because the availability and the ease of use of Arizona as a whole, like the laws in Arizona are a little less, and the amount of land in Arizona is a little bit more. I think it'll be pretty cool for the Martelli brothers to be able to grow the event.
Yeah, and with Havasu, there's so many different trails to go on, and it's kind of like Parky. You can, if your UTV has an Arizona license plate, you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah,
and no cop anywhere anything to you. It's like, all right, he's licensed.
And I think that'll be good. I think there's also going to be a little bit of downfalls with that because you don't want just a whole bunch of 500 dudes on UTVs riding around in Arizona. But I think it'll be cool. What do you think about I commented on it just a second ago. People can drive their boats. They can bring the whole family. They can have a huge party. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. Do you think that's going to have adverse effects, or you think that's going to be cool?
I think it's cool because, with off-road racing, as well as with short course, spectators are the biggest aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because if they come see it, then they're going to tell their friends, which will tell their friends, which will just make this thing explode.
Yeah, and then when you couple it to the fact of what we were just talking about, you can drive wherever, I would bet there'd almost be like a bigger following than it would be the racers.
That's a really good point. So you guys bring up a solid point. And then, so when we were at the Works races just a month or two ago, there was also people in boats watching the races from the lake.
Nice.
So think about that, too. Like all the boating guys that have money.
And then if they know about it.
And they may not have a side-by-side.
Right,
now
and if they know about it, it becomes their thing. Maybe they do once a year. What
a way to introduce somebody that
totally.
never seen a side-by-side by seeing the UTV World Championship. That's a freaking kick in the pants, dude. Sweet. That's such a good point to bring up, man. Hoo-wee.
Sounds like they've put some thought into this.
Do you have any plans on helping out for the UTV World Championship this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and just see how things go. You know, I've been to it for, you know, like I said, I've been going to it since 2015. So this will be interesting to see how they do it in Havasu. I know how how everything's coordinated and how it works in Laughlin, but to see how it works in Havasu is going to be a learning curve. And if it works out, awesome. You know, I'd be happy to see how it goes up there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've seen the growth of it so far, and they've had it, you know, they've been a little bit confined with some of the space and stuff, but it's blown up pretty good so far, like just in Laughlin.
Yeah, you know, and just to mention, too, with the 2015 UTV World Championship, there was, I would say, a handful of racers, but just last year with the 2019 World Championship, as you know, it went from a handful to, I think, over 400 UTVs entering the race. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Where are we gonna stage these guys?
Yeah.
That's pretty insane.
Totally.
Yeah. Man, that's a good point to bring up too, and I think it follows along with what I was saying earlier, is that Arizona allows it to grow that big. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just more open space.
Well, you know how here in Tucson, I mean, we're over 1 million, right? So we're not that small, but it's still that small town feel. And what I'm getting at is we have the gym show is huge for the economy.
Massive.
Right? Like the local economy counts on it, as well as the Tour de Tucson. Those are two giant events that always happen, and like the town almost like revolves around it.
Yeah.
So I could totally see the same thing happening.
UTV World Championship is almost as big as the Tour de Tucson.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it could just grow into that where everybody
except for the people at the UTV World Championship have way more money than bicycle guys.
Right, but you know what I'm saying, to where like that town could just maybe even grow because of it.
Dude, that's so true. So you could kind of feed back and pay back to Havasu City.
Yeah, maybe it becomes a staple for Havasu.
What do you think about that point, James?
I 100% agree. I think Havasu could grow. I mean, Havasu is really big as it is with all the housing and all the shops, but I agree. I think, with this race, who knows, there can be another UTV shop that opens up there that goes, hey, if you have a problem, I'm here.
Right, absolutely. And then that big race carries them like for the year, possibly,
Yeah, exactly. Or introduces all those people that don't have UTVs to have UTVs now.
Right, even better.
Dude, that's
and tons of desert, so.
That's super cool to think about all that stuff that could potentially come from it.
Totally.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be little adverse effects, like they'll have to obviously work with law enforcement to make sure that they keep it, chill. But, I mean, Havasu has spring break and stuff, so,
can't get any worse than that, right?
Yeah, kids going crazy. So I think it'd be cool, man. And like you said, to give back to the economy of a city is pretty bitchin'. So, well, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
And thank you very much for calling in and giving us your opinion, dude. You've been a staple in the UTV industry for a long time, so we definitely appreciate all the info that you're giving us.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and keep up the hard work.
Thanks, bud. We'll talk to you soon, dude.
Yep.
Later.
Later.
Dang, that's cool, man. So thank you very much, Parker James, for calling in, dude. We really appreciate it. It's cool to hear those different perspectives, man, because some of that stuff I didn't even think about. And you talking about feeding back to the economy of Lake Havasu, that's pretty freaking awesome, dude. So we'll have to see what ends up transpiring from that. We got Kristen Matlock calling in too. So how are you doing, Kristen?
Good. How are you?
We are doing awesome. We were just talking about the UTV World Championship moving up to Lake Havasu City, Arizona. What do you think about that?
That's pretty exciting, actually. Something different.
I think it's pretty cool. I think Lucretia is going to have a freaking own everybody in her backyard.
She's going to be so popular, even
I
more.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, everybody's going to be staying at her house asking her where the course goes. And
Totally.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, exactly. We know that they like to have fun. And word on the street is they got a whole bunch of pit bikes, so maybe we should all just bring pit bikes up there and have fun.
Nice.
Perfect.
Well, thank you very much for calling in. We really appreciate it. How's things been going with you and the crew?
Good. Yeah, we've had plenty of time to get everything ready, and we're ready for the next event whenever that may be.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys have any, or talk to anybody to see how the organizations are working with, the local governments and things like that for when racing can resume?
Yeah, I know that Baja's just a little bit behind us, so they're hoping to open up June 1st. As far as I know for sure, Estero Beach Resort down in Ensenada, that's their plan at least. So as long as that happens, I definitely see the Baja 500 happening when it's supposed to in July now.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool. Yeah,
That's great news.
Yeah, that's really positive to hear that. Did they mention to you how everything was going down there? Like, are people? I don't know if I want to use the word freaking out as much as they are up here in the States.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on that. I know that they're struggling for sure, just like we are, with businesses being closed, and they depend greatly on everybody going down there and supporting their communities. So, and unfortunately, that hasn't been happening.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys have been doing pretty good out there in California?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we actually, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but we have a custom cabinet company, and so we've been deemed essential, with that. So we're still working with all of that, and we've still got our guys.
Oh, sorry. Has that blown up for you guys? Because I can tell you around here, like everybody that's kind of shut in is like, hey, I'm going to do something with the house.
So lines at Home Depot.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I hope there's some positive out of it. You know what I mean? Has it been like that for you guys?
What's that now? I'm sorry.
Has it has the business gone up in this weird time because people are all of a sudden looking to do home improvements? It's crazy out here for that. You wouldn't even expect it.
It hasn't really gone up, but we were really busy prior to all of this, so
Okay, good.
we haven't gone down is the positive side
Well, that's
of it.
good.
Yeah.
Good. So just steady.
Yeah.
Good.
What about
Good to
getting
hear.
Exactly.
What about getting inventory for the shop though? Because not that you guys shop at Home Depot, but holy crap, the lines.
Yeah, no, we still have all of our suppliers are still delivering just like they were prior to this. So
Good.
it's all, everything's going smooth on that end of it. Just
Awesome.
for racing. we're just chomping at the bit for that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Well, speaking of racing, I know that you're friends with our featured guest tonight, Brook Jensen.
Yeah, I'm excited that she's going to be on the show with you.
And how did you get introduced to Brook?
I actually met her, I'm going to say it's been a couple years now. I did a demolition derby up, I believe, where she lives in San Bernardino area. Not positive.
A demolition derby, really?
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I know. It was the one and only time I ever did it. I did it for breast cancer, supporting that, and it was a blast. And she was there with, one of her vehicles that she was racing at the time. She wasn't into UTVs yet, but I think.
So did you actually get a car and race the demolition derby portion of it, or did you do like a side?
I did.
Okay, you got to tell us a little bit about this car.
Yeah, I can picture it.
I had a pink Buick, I believe it was. It was front wheel drive.
Nice.
It was amazing. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous because it was right before the Baja 500. I'm like, oh great, I'm going to get hurt, doing this. But yeah, I ended up going out there and never done it before, and that thing just whipped around, and I was able to slam everyone around, and I won the whole thing.
No way! Did you really?
So awesome.
I did, yeah. Even the guy that built it for me, he's one of the guys on our crew, and he's awesome. And he is usually the one that wins that event, and I ended up, came down to him and I at the very end of it, and I got him.
So isn't there technique to
he
that?
hasn't invited me back since.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He booted you?
No, I'm just
bet.
kidding.
I was just thinking what you were thinking.
So is there techniques like, I don't know if you move the radiator, but you back into people? Like, is that a technique?
Yes, for sure.
So.
Yeah, the whole rear end of the car was completely smashed in, and the front was untouched. It was perfect.
So being an accomplished racer as yourself, were you getting into the cockpit going, okay, I've got a strategy, or it was just all of a sudden did it just hit like a ton of bricks and you just went for it?
Yeah, no, it was just go forward and then, get in position, throw it into reverse and go for it.
Nice.
That's hilarious. I would have loved it. Did you guys get any of that on video?
Yeah, I've got a few clips. I'll have to send them over to you.
Awesome.
That's
Can't wait.
hilarious.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, so well, that's awesome that you did that, first of all. But
sure.
So you met Brook out there, huh?
Yeah. So that's where I met her for the first time, and she definitely impressed me being so young. I mean, she's still really young, but even more so a couple years ago, and she was just so articulate, and you can just tell that she had all the drive in the world to just go out and be somebody, to do what she wants to do.
Did it kind of remind you a little bit of yourself when you first started getting into racing?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could just tell that she loved racing, and I could tell that she'd been around it, practically her whole life, and that's what she wanted to be, and that's what she's going to be. So I'm excited to see her grow, and she's definitely grown a lot in the last couple of years since I've known her. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. I agree 100%. And to hear those positive words coming from you, I mean, I look up to you with all your racing accomplishments. I can only imagine the way that that she sees you. And I was talking to Casey before the show. If Jeremy McGrath even knew who I was, it would be like, wow. And he said something about me. I would be so amazed. So I can imagine that hearing those compliments from you to her are pretty valuable for her. So thank you very much for spreading the kind words and love to Brook. That's pretty awesome of you.
Yeah, and putting yourself out there.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah, well, thank
great.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, I'm glad that the family's doing good and the cabinet company's going good, and everybody is chomping at the bit to go racing, so we can't wait to see it happen.
Yes, yeah, I can't wait. As soon as that's what I keep laughing about. I said all of us desert racers, it's going to come down to who can be patient at the first race, because everybody's just going to be so worked up that
That's such
we don't really have a first turn in desert racing.
That's
but
such a good.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, everybody's gonna blow it in the first
Yeah,
10
everybody
minutes.
just needs to simmer down a little bit.
That is a great point.
So I don't know if you were listening to the earlier portion of the show, but Casey and I were talking about there's a track in Texas called Texplex, and they have a short course track and some stuff like that for UTVs. And so myself and a bunch of people are going to go out there and race. I don't know if you know who Cody and Hunter Miller are, but they race Can-Ams. But
yeah, they were at King of the Hammers and did excellent this year.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my first race for at least King of the Hammers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did awesome though.
Thank you.
So we're
other than being a turtle on my lid.
I don't know how you can't be how do you even not be a turtle at that race? I don't.
The least amount of times wins probably.
Yeah, exactly. And just make sure you can flip it back over.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know, but Wayne, with a bunch of other guys, now that I've seen all the videos, tied a rope at the back of the vehicle and helped them walk it down. That one that I just kept ending up on my top.
Does that actually work though? Because I don't feel like a human being can pull hard enough to hold it back.
Well, it's just barely that little tipping point,
right.
That
sure.
Everybody's almost making it, and then that's just a little bit that it needs to be pulled back down to position.
Yeah, so just at the right leverage point. That's crazy.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
so yeah, to continue on what I was saying, we're going to go out there to Texplex, and that might be my actual first race back in a car. I think I'm going to go out there and try to see if I can cruise around a little
cool.
bit. So we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
that's so cool. Yeah, have fun. That's amazing. When is that one?
It's June 20th, I think, is the next one. I think they have one before that, but I think that's the earliest that we can make it out there. Do you guys have short course cars or anything?
We have a couple RS1s. Yeah, so we could totally.
Those would probably be
use
bitching
those
to put out there.
Yeah. Now we just started running some Pro XPs a couple weekends ago, so those would work too.
So how are those things? Because those things look badass.
Yes, they are probably the most comfortable stock UTV I've ever sat in, honestly.
Yeah, my dad's been chomping at the bit.
They work amazing.
My dad's been chomping at the bit to drive one too. They look super comfy.
Yeah. I wasn't too sure about it, only because of the 64-inch wheels or the width on them, because I'm so used to 72. But they've lowered the center of gravity on the car, so you don't even notice the width being narrower.
That's pretty cool.
So,
well, if we know that Wayne would love to. I saw him post a video of him riding a quad back in the day. Maybe he wants to get back out and hit some jumps in his Razor.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for sure.
So, well, if you guys are interested, we're going to go out on June 20th to Texas and have some fun. So, be nice to
I'll check it out.
Have some other people come out there too. So, well, thank you very much for calling in and giving such kind words to Brooke. That's really, really cool of you. It's a class act.
Yeah, I can't hear her. I'll be listening.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Kristen, and have a good time with the family tonight. Hopefully, you'll get some tacos tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, take it easy. We really appreciate you calling in.
Take care. Have a good one.
Of course, anytime. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was really cool of her to call in and give such kind words to Brooke. So, and we got some comments coming in saying that they can't wait to talk to Brooke. So let's take a commercial break, and we will be right back with Brooke Jensen.
Sounds good.
See you guys in a bit. Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in the Desert and SCORE. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target, and we are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Yeah, finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like, let's say, a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up. It's
all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah, also as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's
the
It's like a first
truck.
aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we are back, man. I still can't believe it's episode 38. It's pretty awesome. So tonight we have our featured guest, Brook Jensen. She is already in her very, very young age an accomplished young racer. She's raced karts. She's raced UTVs. She's even got to be able to drive some of the bigger trucks in the desert. And she has a very, very big passion for off-road racing. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with Lyme disease, and she's overcome that. To me, that is the most special thing about her because she shows determination, and I admire that very, very much. So thank you very, very much for coming on our show. Brook, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome.
Great.
I still can't get over how awesome your setup is right there. It's so cool.
Thank you.
So you did a fantastic job. So first thing I would like to say before we even get into like what you want to do with sponsors is if anybody wants to sponsor Brook, look at the dedication she does into her little setup. I mean, like for real, that's like some killer sponsorship return on your investment right there.
And like it's no big deal. She's like, this old thing?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Perfect.
So what's happening over there in California on this Monday?
Nothing much. Just kind of getting the new race car that we haven't been able to release yet ready and prepped for whenever race season's coming. It definitely set us back. But we're making the best we can out of it, and we're just ready to start racing again.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. There's so many people. When we were just had Kristen Matlock on, I don't know if you got to hear what she said. She had some nice things to say about you, but she's chomping at the bit to go racing too, man.
Yeah, no, her words are so sweet. They almost put me in tears, you know?
She's solid people. Her and Wayne are really, really – it's nice to have people that big in the UTV industry still be so humble, isn't it?
Yeah, especially them raising the boys. I mean, those boys are so sweet, and they're definitely going to take after their parents, them racing.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. You think Wayne's going to be all pissed when they start beating him?
Oh, yeah. I see it coming. Just wait a couple years.
So let's take a step back real quick. I wanted to know, first of all, for our audience, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
Okay, cool. So still got a long, long career ahead of you. That's awesome. Heather Wadham said a huge fan of Brook Jensen. So we're getting some good comments for you tonight. So what got you into motorsports then? It sounded like from when we talked to Kristen that you've been in and around motorsports for a really long time.
Yeah, definitely. When I was little, my dad would take me out to Barstow in California, and we'd watch the trucks out there race. And seeing how different the trucks are now compared to when we would go out there and watch them is just crazy. Seeing the motorsports build is just unbelievable. But yeah, he would take us out there, and I just had a knack for it. I tried dance, I tried volleyball, gymnastics, like soccer. I tried everything. And I was like, nothing just fits. So I'm like, I want to race.
Yeah.
So then
I can definitely
when I was
agree
about
with
11
that.
years old. Yeah. When I was 11 years old, I asked my parents to buy me a Junior 1 car for the Lucas Oil series. And they were like, no, you're not going to race. Like, we're not getting into that. My dad already knew what he'd be getting into. And I never gave up asking.
What is the?
Yeah.
We have a couple more people comment in. Lauren Schultz said hi, Brook, and then Donna Fry said, "Go Brook, supporting you from Huntington Beach."
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Amy Wells can't wait to talk to Brooke Jensen, sending some love from the Wells family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you keep getting the comments coming in. Awesome. What do they say? Like I was going to comment in on your last what you just said. To be a millionaire in off-road or any type of racing, how do you? Yeah, you start with $2 million.
Yeah, how do you make $1 million in racing?
Yeah, that's
Start with 2. Right.
So your dad was probably not wrong when he said, "No way, I'm not getting you a junior car."
Totally. You know what's cool though?
Yeah, he was like, "Nope, no way."
What's awesome that maybe you haven't realized, or maybe you have by now, is that all those other sports that you did, they actually started a platform for a passion to do your best in what you want to do. And the reason I know that is because I can remember, okay, I wanted to play basketball because it was tall, but that wasn't my thing. Team sports wasn't my thing. I wanted to race moto, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I remember being in the backyard and, going through that scenario in your mind. It's the last shot of the game and whatever,
right.
and you try to make it.
Visualize it.
Totally. And then you do that, like you tell yourself, I'm not going in the house quitting until I do 20 of those in a row or 50 of those in a row. And then when you get into the car now of your real dream, I guarantee you're like, I got to hit that corner right. I gotta hit that, that jump correct. So don't downplay what you didn't want to do, because it actually helped you get to where you're at. I know. There's some value there for sure.
I've noticed everybody that races, they all talk about the sports that they used to play.
Right.
And then they go into this now, and they were so competitive that they couldn't compete in those sports because they were too competitive.
Yeah, that's where you say the feeling. Team sports.
Yep.
So I wanted to bring up a comment too, like of the same kind of line of train of thought. So everybody starts on PW50s in motocross, right?
Yep. Right.
So you were kind of referred by Shelby Anderson. You're friends with Shelby, and so she posted a picture with her mom for Mother's Day yesterday. So my first comment was, did you ask her where she buried the PW50?
That's right. What'd she say? Did she laugh?
Yeah, so she sent me a message. She was laughing.
That's so funny.
I don't know if you saw Shelby's show, but she was talking about that, man, because she started like on a PW50. Her mom was like, no way, no dirt bikes.
No, no dirt bikes.
So
that's something I've definitely been interested in lately is bikes. My friend Jesse Combs and Teresa do the bikes with all the Sturgis shows and stuff like that, and I've been begging to get a bike, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Have you ever ridden a dirt bike?
Yeah, we have a pit bike. We have a track that we're building, but I have not gotten on a dirt bike yet, like an actual my size,
Oh, like one that's like maybe like a 125 or something like that?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool if you try it out, though. And I'm sure your dad can teach you how to do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's take a step back again then. So you were around motorsports and you convinced your dad to be able to buy you the junior cart. Then, so where did it go from there? Did you start racing Lucas, or did you kind of just drive it around?
Yeah, no, we definitely hopped right into racing. And then after that, my dad bought me a mod cart, and it was a pile. It definitely was a pile, but it taught me how to drive.
Did he make you work on it?
Drive. Oh, yeah. Nope. Hands-on, and if I'm not prepping that car with him, I'm not racing.
Nice.
There you go.
Love it.
So Casey and I always talk about this, too, and that's the exact reason why we started this show is because the dirt life taught us so much growing up. We had to fix it. We had to be able to start it. We had to be able to work on things. And our dads taught us very similar to the way that your dad's teaching you, except for you have a little bit bigger of a task because you're working on 4 wheels instead of us like working on 2 wheels. So that's super, super cool of your parents to teach you that.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be their daughter.
Did you have a good Mother's Day with your mom yesterday?
Yeah, we had a good chill Mother's Day.
What'd you guys do?
We sat on the back porch and had our family over on Saturday, and then Sunday we just laid low. But on Saturday we made tri-tip, and then it was so good. And then we actually cut it up tonight and made tacos out of it.
Just gonna ask, in the same backyard, I think, right?
That's the backyard must be the killer spot at the Jensen house. So, what was your foray into racing then? Did you, like when you got into junior karts, were you like all of a sudden winning? Were you kind of like learning the ropes? Like, because this stuff is really, really crucial to who you are now, right? It's like how you started. So what did you start doing when you first raced?
When I first started racing, my dad has always taught me that you need to learn how to drive. So we would always buy a car that wasn't the top car. And then we'd take that and we would turn it around and it would teach me how to drive so that when I get into a much nicer car, I'm on top of the box all the time. And that's pretty much what we did is we got the junior car, moved into a mod cart, and the mod cart was actually the only floor clutch out there on the track.
And so some of the people in our audience that may not know what a floor clutch is, it's like a standard clutch like on a car. And some of the mod carts don't use that. They use a similar thing to like a dirt bike. Yeah. So depending on what kind of car you get. So she learned a little bit different than what most people did.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely something to learn. But then when we bought my last mod cart, it was so easy to drive. That thing had power steering compared to when we first got the other car. I mean, your hands getting jerked everywhere and you were losing the steering wheel. But it definitely taught me to drive.
So those are both cool things, right? Because you get the, like she said, it was a junker or whatever, but but she's probably all yoked for driving it like struggling all hard, and then she gets into this other one. She's like, "Oh, this is so easy."
That was a great plan.
One-handed.
It was a great plan, parents.
Yep. Go, Dad.
Yep. Should we try to catch up on a couple of those comments before we lose them?
Go for it.
There's one up if you don't mind, real quick. But but also James Morgan says Brook is a really good racer from Parker James. Shannon Fry. Go Brook, love Uncle Shannon, and then Tammy Sebero. We love you, Brook. You're beautiful inside and out, honey.
Hey, man, you're
awesome.
getting
all kinds of love. Yep.
Yeah.
So proud of you, Brook.
All the kinds of love.
It's great.
Dude, you really are. Donna Fry said, "Go Brook, supporting you." Oh no, we already mentioned that one. The
Shannon
Tipton,
Fry, yep.
Yeah, the Tipton family loves you, Brook. Man, you're getting all the love tonight, dude. That's awesome. And you got tacos.
That's definitely something we have is the support behind us.
So that's a huge mechanism. So we can start talking about that too. I do want to go back to the mod carts and stuff, but the support mechanism that people need to have, again, a part of the dirt life is really crucial in any type of sport. Whether it's motorsports, if you want to be a soccer guy like we were talking about, football, whatever it is. And it seems like you have a really good crew around you. Does that help a lot when you're at the races too?
Yeah, it definitely helps, especially having Lyme disease. Sometimes it is hard on you. And these people, my family, friends, fans, they are so supportive. And I love talking to all of them. It's cool because we live in a small town. So, everybody kind of knows my name around. They'll see the trailer go by and you get people waving. And no, it's definitely huge to have a support system.
Yeah, it's massive. One thing I wanted to say, though, is about those support systems. You can have a lot of support, right? But if you yourself as a person are a total Debbie Downer, people don't want to support that. So you have to also give yourself a pat on the back too, because you're high energy, you're very determined, you have strong will because you want to overcome these things. When you show those types of traits, people want to come and support you. They want to be part of your team and they want to love you because you have those traits. So give yourself a little pat on the back too when you see those support people coming out and giving you all this love,
And remember how Remember how much Shelby Anderson talked about how her reaching out to her was so big in her life, and so huge. All that, yeah. Just keep doing what you do. I mean, obviously you're busy, but when you can show that time, or show the care and give that time out of your busy schedule, that says a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does.
So let's go back to the mod carts then. So you started getting in the mod cart. You're driving a jalopy with floor clutch, and then Dad got you a better one. So did you start getting on the podium and stuff, or how did it start going from there?
Yeah, no, we once we got that other car, we were fast and we were consistent, and that's what is the best thing to be in Lucas, is fast and consistent. We had our prep down. I would get home from the races and I'd get that car completely down so that my dad can come home and help me prep it so that I don't miss anything that he wouldn't miss. And then we'd back on the road for the races. But we definitely prepped that car very well so that we could be on top of the box.
Yeah, exactly. And so two eyes are better than one, right? So you're taking it all apart, you're looking at it, you're cleaning it, and then when Dad gets home, you're like, hey, I found a little break in a weld right here, or this is missing a bolt, or whatever it is. You probably go through it with a fine-tooth comb, huh?
Yep.
That's super, super cool. So what do you guys usually do? What's the procedure? You get home from the races, and then it's like park the trailer and get some sleep, and then the next day you're right on top of it again, or what?
I wish that I didn't have that much energy. We get home from the races and that box trailer is unloaded, the car's stripped, and it's pressure washed that night or day.
That's awesome. Zero procrastination. That's awesome. And then you don't have to worry about if you want to take a second because you did the part you need to do. That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to do too.
It totally. So we'll get into like your energy level and stuff like that in a little bit. But how old were you at this point when you were, I guess, achieving podiums and stuff like that in the mod cart?
I was 14, 15 years old. Yeah.
Okay. So you had been racing for a little while then. About how many years had you been racing for at this point?
I want to say 7 to 8 years.
Wow. See, so we were talking about this the other day when I had the kids on the show, Ethan Ebert and Luke Knupp. They both had been racing just as long or longer than I had. You know, it's crazy to see how much experience and how much veterans these young kids are. You know, it's pretty awesome to see. It'd be nice if I could have raced for that long in off-road cars.
And especially the whole package where she's wrenching and she's looking, she's prepping the car. So that's like even, I mean, in my mind, that's almost more important because now when you get to that level,
well, that's 90% of the program.
It absolutely is. But I mean, as the racer that actually knows what's going on, that's great.
Yeah. So how about that then? Brings up a good question. When you're driving the car, can you be like, oh, maybe this bolt was loose or this is what happened to the car? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely an advantage, especially racing desert. I'll hear a noise or I'll feel something and I'm like, I could think maybe that's the brake cable. Maybe that this bolt's loose. Maybe you never know. You know what I mean? You could feel the belt slipping sometimes. But if you're not educated, then you can't diagnose what's going wrong with your car.
Right. Yeah, you just say something like, oh, it's broken. I'm pulling over.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
How about that in the communication? Like now you're getting into more like desert racing and you're having a passenger and stuff. Like do those things, prepping the car, make it easier for you to communicate with the co-driver?
Yeah, and especially when our co-driver was up here helping, we would kind of work on things together so that we both knew, like, okay, we remember this sound when that thing broke. It's not just one person going, oh, is that the brakes? Or, oh, is that the belt? You know what I mean? We're both like, okay, that's the brakes.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good piece of the puzzle.
Sure.
I was a co-driver in a race at the Silver State 300 one time, and we didn't make it very far, but I basically took 90% of the car and helped redo the whole thing because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting into. So that's cool that you and the co-driver know that. Yeah,
it's definitely a huge advantage.
Okay, so did you win a bunch of races when you were in the mod car, or did you get a bunch of podiums? Like what was your accolades in that class?
Yeah, we definitely, by the end of the season, turning 15 years old to turning 16, we definitely were on the podium every single race. And I'd say the best we did was I have not won a national race or podiumed at a national race. And we were actually so close to podiuming in Missouri. We were working up to third place. And then that's when I rolled like 15 times.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
You want to take a couple? I want to get into this story. You want to mention a couple of those comments?
Yeah, Corey Temple, so proud of you, Brook. James Morgan, every time I see Brook at a race, she puts a smile on my face when I'm having a rough day. That's awesome. Corey Clark, Dirt Life Show. You guys always have awesome guests. Thanks, Corey. We appreciate that. We feel blessed to have these awesome people. Join us.
It's definitely not the show that makes it awesome. It's the people that we have on the show.
Absolutely.
This one I think is my favorite comment of the whole night.
The bottom one.
Well, actually, we got one that says, "Come to the Texas track, Brook. We love you," and that's from Jennifer, I don't think Marchak. Yeah, Marchak. But this one's from Lauren Schultz. Pinion Hillbillies, love you, girl.
Or is it Pignon?
Yeah.
I think it is. It's got the little inye or whatever it is.
So how do you pronounce your city?
Pinion Hills.
Ah, Pinion. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
So you guys are the Pinion Hillbillies eating tacos?
Yeah, that's actually a funny story because our neighborhood, we all live on dirt roads, and we literally every single weekend razor in our Polaris razor over to everybody's houses.
Love
and then
it.
we have like hats that say Pinion Hills Hillbillies.
Love
Nice.
it. That's perfect.
That's super cool. I think we need to move out there, man.
Well, it was kind of like that for us growing up. You know,
Yeah.
we grew up in a little dirt road town, a little, I don't know how many people lived out there. It was
small, like probably like that.
Yeah, and there was definitely a camaraderie going on. Everybody knew everybody's business, though. That's some of the problem, right?
It is.
Yeah, but if you ever need help, like if something happens, they just walk over or whatever.
Absolutely.
Man, we keep having some more people comment in. We'll get back to some of the comments. So tell us about this crash that you had. Holy cow.
15 rolls, is that what she said?
Oh, man.
It was unbelievable.
Where was it?
It was in Missouri.
No, like what part of the track?
Oh, turn one.
Weren't we just talking about that?
That turn one is like it's
Just
kind of like a really harsh corner.
But it wasn't lap one, right?
Yeah. And especially in Missouri, the track was so big. It was honestly hard to memorize, and it was a really difficult track. And it was a yellow flag, and we were going green again, and we were all lined up, and the green flag dropped, and the straightaway going into the first turn was really long, so we were catching about 79 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. And me and this guy come side by side, and my tire clips his, and we were clear. We held our line, and just by accident, we clipped together, and we just tossed in the air.
Oh, so he biffed it too, or no?
Oh, yeah, he rolled really bad as well.
Was your car like fully toast?
So I had a carbon fiber seat, and I cracked the carbon fiber seat.
Holy smokes. Did you get like the stars in your eyes and all that crap?
I just remember flipping, and I remember flipping down, and my helmet lid flew up, and I had a ton of dirt fly in my shield, and then I don't remember anything after that until I woke up in the CAT scan.
Holy smokes.
So you got a bell rung pretty good, it sounds like.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
what did mom and dad think?
So, yeah, my mom and dad, they told me that once it happened, they were on one side of the track, and they had to run all the way to the other side. And my spotter, actually, at the time, he hopped the fence to get onto the Luke Soil track. And they had to cut my body, and so when they cut off the top of the body to cut the cage to get me out, I was just screaming for my dad. I want my dad. I want my dad. And he was right in front of me the entire time. And then they transferred me into the ambulance, and it was about a 45-minute ride all the way down there, my mom said. And they had the helicopter running to transport me to the trauma center because I wasn't waking up.
Yeah.
And then once they put me in the CAT scan and put that dye in my arm, I woke up.
That's crazy, man. Well, we are definitely glad that you made it out of that and you still have such a good attitude. That's awesome that you guys went through that. And again, with the support mechanism of your family, and obviously your spotter cared a lot about you and stuff like that. So it's cool to see. We won't dwell on the negatives, but we're glad that you made it out of there, and you obviously had a learning experience because you're not going to make the same mistakes again. That's pretty clear.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience for sure. But it's what honestly you ask for entering this sport, you know? It's the chance you take.
100%. I agree with that. And dude, the freaking brain power on this kid, man. That's
I know.
So cool that she realizes all
sometimes
this.
when something big like this happens, it kind of forces a reset. And sometimes it's needed. And I'm not saying that you needed that, but did you guys come through like, hey, we're going to do a few things different this way? Because I would imagine you had to rebuild the car, obviously. So there's an opportunity to maybe do things a little different. And then, maybe you're programming your racecraft a little differently. Is that
like mentally?
Yeah. I mean, obviously you don't want to go out there and be timid because you got to be the fierce fighting animal when you're out there. But sometimes that happens and people are just way better for it, even though you don't want to have to go through that, but you come out better, you come out stronger. Would you say some of that kind of happened, or what's your take?
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. I have no fear, and that's one thing I'm so proud of. Having no fear, I woke up in the hospital and they put this big neck brace thing on me, and I look at the doctor and I'm like, so can I race tomorrow?
Dang.
I remember asking those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is my car okay?
Yeah. Can I race next week?
Yeah. Is the car okay?
Yeah, exactly.
How long do I have? Like, yeah, that is so cool. Well, so how old were you then when you went to Missouri?
I want to say I just turned 16.
Okay. So, I don't know the exact timeline. When were you diagnosed with Lyme?
I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit then, because we want to start talking about the next steps that you took, obviously, in your racing career. So I think this is a good time for us to get a little bit of motivation and understand how strong of a person you are with having Lyme for pretty much your whole life. So Shelby Anderson gave us a little bit of an understanding of what Lyme disease is, but maybe you can educate us and our audience a little bit about what it actually is that happens to you and some of the symptoms your body goes through.
Yeah, so being young, it's really hard to understand. My mom would be able to tell a better story, but from my understanding, I was bit by a tick, actually, on my eyelid. I was riding down by our creek, like on a dirt bike or whatever, and it got on my eyelid, and it honestly looked like my teardrop, but like further in the middle of my eye. And my mom was giving me a bath, and she pulled it off, and she looked really closely, and it had legs, and it freaked her out, which we know someone who has Lyme disease, so that's really the only reason why we figured it was a tick. And which is so hard to explain because we're trying to spread awareness so that when that happens to someone, they understand like I did when I got bit.
That's
and so my mom actually put it in the freezer with some ice or whatever.
Wow,
and
smart mama.
I would go out and play, and I'd come back in and I'd throw up, and then I was really sick, really nauseous. I would sleep a lot, and then she's like, okay, it's time to take it to Kaiser, which, we all have our own opinions about Kaiser.
Yeah. Kaiser.
I know me and George agree on ours.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, Kaiser is a medical facility in California.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, and so we went to the hospital and took it to Kaiser, and they tested me for strands of Lyme, and you have to have, I believe, 4 strands, and I only had 3, so they couldn't diagnose me with Lyme disease. And they sent me home and told my mom that I was depressed at 4.
Oh no,
dude. So her and I talked about this a little bit when we were talking a couple weeks ago, and I don't even want to use bad words, but it frustrates the freaking heck out of me. Mm-hmm. Understanding that you can get misdiagnosed like that, like going through all this crap that I did this past year, like I don't trust anybody until I trust them. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy.
And it didn't used to be that way.
No, it's like you got to be your own freaking doctor these days.
Yep.
It's nuts.
The stuff we went through with Lily, same thing.
Yeah, and so when you said good on mom, like,
yeah, that's
so
amazing
her support
forethought.
mechanism keeps kicking in, dude. Like, that is super cool that your mom was so on top of stuff like that.
It could put me in tears. My mom is my biggest supporter. She has taken me to every doctor's appointment. She has shoved medicine down my throat. She's injected me with injections, with needles, and she's watched me go through my worst days, and she's still there for me, and she will be until the end of time, until we can get past this, you know?
That's super, super cool. So maybe continue with the story then. So they misdiagnosed you or didn't diagnose you fully, I guess. So what happened from there?
Yeah, and then we visited a couple other doctors, and I finally got diagnosed. And we actually see a doctor up in San Francisco area, but more San Jose. And we fly up there every 6 months, and I get treatment.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy that you have to go all the way there because now you trust that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have 2 doctors. I have one in Yorba Linda, San Diego area. She has 2 offices. She works out of her house and then also out of Yorba Linda. And she's an all natural doctor.
Oh,
so I take about 24 pills and about 80 droppers per night that are all natural.
Jeez,
awesome.
Man, that's crazy.
That's good. That's good stuff.
So we're going to continue talking about this stuff, but you mind reading some of those comments?
Morgan Jensen says, that's my sister, all
yeah,
caps.
Morgan.
Corey Temple, Carly is loving watching you on the show. That was Corey Temple. And Amy Wells, what a Lyme warrior, spreading some awareness while she thrives despite disease. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
It's insane. And we're going to start talking about racing after this, but this shows like how much determination one human being can have. We got a couple other people that are just setting emojis like, yeah, you go, like raise the roof and amen and strong girl and all that stuff. Yeah. So, well, let's go back then. So you found the doctors and you're so young and your mom is obviously kind of, you know, pushing you through this, dad's helping and everything. So what are some of the next things that have to be done in your life to be able to understand how you're going to live your new normal?
It was very hard at first. I was such a little girl, and when I would go to school and I'd fall asleep in class because I was so sick, and underneath my eyes, when I get really sick, they get dark. So you can tell when I get sick, and the kids just wouldn't understand, and they'd make fun of me, and it's nothing I could help, you know?
Right.
And now being this older age, I honestly haven't started spreading my awareness until my freshman year in high school.
That's pretty cool though. So you're you're understanding how much value you can provide to other people now, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to have a lot of strength. Encouragement of all my family. You can tell with all the comments, everybody is so sweet and backs me. So it helps a lot, you know, and when that one person makes fun of you, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just brush you off my shoulder.
Yeah, who cares?
Absolutely.
At that point, yeah. And that it goes to show, it like teaches you who you don't want to be around too. You don't need any of that negativity.
Right.
So
100%, yes.
So obviously you have to make some life adjustments. Well, you got to take pills, you got to probably eat a certain way, you got to exercise, you got to do all these different things. So was it difficult at such a young age adjusting to all that, or did your mom just kind of point you on the right path and you just followed?
Yeah, my mom definitely pointed me on the right path. It has been hard. Now being older, I can kind of take care of myself, and I need to learn how to take care of myself. So when I'm older and I go to events, I know how to take care of my body when it wants to freak out and have a seizure. But I feel like a lot of things that have helped me is dieting, eating very healthy, taking my medication, which I'm extremely stubborn, and I'll be like, no, I'm fine. And then next week I'm in bed all day.
Yeah.
Super stubborn.
You have to realize what your body needs, and it doesn't always happen like right at that second either. Casey and I were actually talking about this before the show. We were talking about bicycle riding just because that's what we're into, and he was like, a lot of people don't understand when it's the good hurt. Like you go out and you ride your bicycle and you're like, wow, that was like such a good ride. But man, I'm like,
you're wrecked, you're in pain, but you're like, it feels good.
Yeah. And then,
that's every race.
So
every event and every race.
Right.
But when you can understand that, then you can also reverse engineer it and understand like, oh, to get to this, I better be consistent with my medication or whatever I got to do to make sure that I don't F it up next time.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's really hard for me because I go to events and I make sure that I'm at every event, even if I'm not racing. I didn't race them at 400 and I was there. And that entire week after, I will be so sick. Like on our way home, I can feel it. And then we get home and I'm so tired. It's almost like I feel like having the flu every single day of your life, you know?
Right.
And where throwing up becomes actually amazing.
Yeah, just some of the stuff that you have to deal with. Like I said, it's your new normal, and if people don't understand that, then screw them, because that's just the way that you have to live to be able to understand the way that your body works. It's really, really cool. Like, I can't believe that you're this young and this focused on what your body can do. It's awesome.
Yeah, and with all the stuff that you're doing, spreading awareness and stuff. Like you said, you have your down days. We all do. Anybody that's facing adversity goes through some things where they have these days where they're down, and it's what kind of advice would you give somebody who they know they need to be positive and help spread that stuff, but sometimes you just want to stay in bed, right? What do you do to keep going and try to put your best foot forward? I mean, you have some kind of routine or what would you say?
Yeah, definitely before races. I actually had someone reach out to me yesterday, which was super awesome. Before races, I eat extremely healthy and I make sure that my body is feeling the best it can. The most thing I try to say is be positive, always carry a smile on your face, because when you have a smile, you're making that other person that you're talking to have a smile, and then it reflects back on you.
Absolutely.
Find a getaway. And, I found racing. My heart dives into racing. Find something that your heart, when you're doing it, doesn't feel that pain of what you're going through that you feel every day.
Right.
I was just going to say that you always have something to look forward to, and she does. So when she says that she's energized to take the car apart before she goes to bed, that's because she's so focused, and she does not necessarily she doesn't want to feel the hurt, but she'd rather feel the positive.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing something. Yeah.
And once you do, you don't stop.
Right.
Dude, I would if I could go over there and fist pump you, I totally would right now.
Yeah. Great advice, because it doesn't matter what age you are. Everybody has something they have to deal with, and that's great advice from someone so wise in such a young age. So
for real, though.
We appreciate that.
I think that whole looking forward to something is so crucial in so many people's lives. All right, so let's kind of push past the Lyme a little bit. So you deal with the Lyme all day, every day, and you like you said, you get tired and you come home from races and stuff. I think it's super positive. Like, if I was a company going to sponsor somebody, I would think to myself, wow, look at what this person does on a daily basis, not even on the track. And the mindset that you have to have and the mental capacity that you have to have. When you put her in a car, that's the easy part.
Right.
So why
that becomes
wouldn't
the bonus, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so why wouldn't you want to sponsor somebody like that? You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So I think that's super cool. And just knowing that makes me want to I wish I had a company we could sponsor you. So what were the next things that you started wanting to do? Like, you crashed the mod cart. Was that like a catalyst to be like, all right, Mom and Dad, let's talk about doing some other form of racing?
I had my heart so into short course because I love the fans, the people. They're all so into racing. And I was really scared. My dad wanted me to race desert. I was really scared that wasn't going to be there anymore. And it was just kind of be me racing in the desert. And I wanted a pro light. I definitely wanted to race a pro light because I love how Haley Deegan goes out there, Ronnie Anderson, Brock Hager, and they're just thrashing those things around.
Yeah.
And watching them three race together is ridiculous.
Dude, it's like MMA with trucks.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into a pro light, but we're a small family and we couldn't afford a pro light, and to be competing in the top 3, there was no way. So we actually bought a race car that was a desert car, and you're not going to believe this. It was a 900.
Yeah, a Razor 900.
And it was built into a 975.
Yeah. So you and I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Like, still to this day, one of my favorite cars was the Razor 900. Like, I love those things. They were so. We were talking about this even before I talked to you about it with some other guys, and we were like, "Dude, those cars are so bitchin'."
Was that the yellow one?
I had an orange.
I drove.
I had an orange pumpkin. Oh okay. yeah. The yellow one that you drove was a 900.
That was so rad.
That was a Rockstar Energy UTV Wolfpack car.
That was so rad.
That was pretty. He got to drive a short course race car.
Oh, I loved it.
Did you really?
So much fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so much fun.
I sent him a picture that he drove it like on a motocross track, and he was getting all crazy. I was like, man, you got to take Casey out of the car real quick because he's going to just get hooked.
Yep.
See, once you get your feet wet, it's all in.
Oh, absolutely, and especially when you're older like me, and you know how easily that addictive personality
kicks right back in.
Yeah, honey, we're gonna go short course racing.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
That's exactly what her parents were telling her. They're like, no, we're buying a 900 desert car. So was it already prepped and all desert race ready, or like what was it?
Yeah, it was ready, and it's really cool because one of my dad's best friends that he grew up with actually passed away to cancer, and he was the co-driver of that car. So it was a huge blessing for me to be able to race that car, you know, in his name.
That is pretty cool.
For sure.
And so it was built up enough that you guys just had to move the seat and stuff and just jump in it, and you were good to go?
Oh, yeah, no. The seat and pedals definitely had to be adjusted because I am so small. But, yeah, no, we got that thing wrapped, and we were already out racing.
That's pretty cool. Looks like we have a couple little internet connections, so let's hang tight for just a second, okay, Brooke? So, okay. Well, I don't know if you guys could hear us or not while we were talking on the live feed, but we had a couple internet service provider issues. It looks like it's still a little bit spotty. So we're just going to continue with the interview and hope that you guys can keep joining the streams. We're not going to stop any of the streams. We're just going to keep them going. So it might be spotty for a little bit, so just hang tight with us for a little bit. We're just going to continue talking to Brooke, and if you guys miss anything or have any comments, just please comment in and let us know if you want to ask another question or anything like that. Like I said, it might be a little spotty for a little bit here. But we were talking to Brooke about her Razor 900 and adjusting the seat pedals and getting it all dialed in for her to be able to go racing. So what was the goal behind your car then? Like, was it to go desert racing, or was it to start kind of learning and working in the UTVs? Or like, what was the things that you and your family had talked about for the program?
Definitely move into desert racing. I've always been around desert racing and raced. That's what I first saw in racing, was desert racing. And like I said before, my dad first bought that mod car and it was a pile. Yeah. And then I moved into a nicer car, and this Razor was for me to learn in, you know?
Yeah.
Me and that Razor got in a couple little fights here and there. But, you know, it's taught me how to drive.
How was it, like, learning the new car, like, working on it?
It's a lot more difficult than the mod carts because the mod carts are really small, yeah. I feel like, and to the point. In desert racing, there's so many things that you take with you. You know, you have spare belts, spare axles, spare arms, you know?
Yeah,
so,
jacks, tires.
Like it's a totally new ball game.
Yep. I totally agree with that. So you had to learn a whole new car, but you're basically a veteran already. So you just
No
were
big
like,
deal.
yeah, it's a new car. We'll
Whatever.
we'll
I got this.
just brush it off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if it's getting me on the track to race, put me in it. I don't
Nice.
care.
Sign me up.
Exactly.
Put me in, coach.
Thanks for letting us know that you're all
Just
good
like
over there.
Kristen Matlock. Hey, it's a derby race. It puts you on the racetrack.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
That's crazy. Thanks for letting us know that you were good on Facebook, Shane. I appreciate that. It looks like we have some more people logging in on YouTube, but the Facebook feed looks like it stayed. So it's good.
Caitlin, love you, bestie.
Yep. Caitlin Burita. Yep. Love you, bestie.
Beretta, yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Man, you get like one of the top commenters
Yeah,
of
for
the
sure.
of the Dirt Life show. You're getting all kinds of good stuff. You
Good. Hopefully we can bring some more views to you guys and have more people tune in, you know?
I know, dude. You're really, really doing a good job. I got that for sure from you, especially on social media. So, okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. You got the Razor 900 and you're doing all that stuff. What did you decide with your parents that was going to be the first race?
I want to say we did UTV World Championships for our first race.
Really? That's a pretty, like, ambitious goal to go out there and do that. And you raced the desert course or the short course?
The desert course. And
Dang, all in.
We started in the sportsman class, which I wish we wouldn't have because we were podiuming every race. And if we would have been in the NA class, we would have definitely been in top 5.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I grew up driving Polaris Razors. You know, that's all we've ever had. So it wasn't like I wasn't hopping into something that I didn't know how to drive. It was something that I've always known.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, it's good that you basically just made some adjustments and you got in there and started getting into it. Before we start talking about where you want to go next and take the car next and the new car that you're building, I wanted to ask a question about school. So you've still had to deal with Lyme. You've still been a professional racer, well, semi-professional racer at your young age, but you have to go to school still. You have to learn, right? So how's that?
So I was in public school since when I started preschool, and then at 9th grade, I decided when my business name with racing started to jump into something bigger and I wasn't able to be at school, I decided to become homeschooled, which has been really hard, but it's able to where I can do schoolwork in a hotel room, you know, and then I'm still with my sponsors and at events.
Yep.
Another thing that I took on last year is instead of doing the normal courses for your credits, I took on a whole nother year, and I was taking like 9 or 10 classes.
Dang.
So that I could graduate a year early.
Overachiever over here.
So the timing of this interview just continues to amaze me. So I have to throw this out here because there has to be a story here. So Kurt Chase says she will kill me, but tell her old teacher says she's a pain. I love Brook, one of my all-time favorite humans. Perfect timing, just talking about school.
To be honest, when I first started my career was in middle school, 6th grade, and that's when I met him. And he's actually an ASB teacher, which is like a student body for students that can plan events at schools and become more of into the school, you know, not just like the teachers planning the events, the students do.
Right.
So he's actually one of those kind of teachers, an ASB teacher, and he's the one who inspired me to show my Lyme to the world and to race with such a positive attitude. And I honestly I wouldn't be here without him.
That's
awesome.
super
cool.
I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's always those people that are I don't know what you call it, blunt or upfront with you.
Right.
That they don't want like give you any special treatment. They're just like, hey, dude, do this. Like,
Right.
And it sounds like he was one of those people. That's pretty cool.
Thanks for the comment, Kurt. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know what her Neener 3 said. You're amazing, Brooke. We love you. You're killing the interview. You are killing the interview. So what kind of stuff do you have to do to work harder in school then? Because that's a lot of self-motivation, right? To make sure you get all your stuff done. And you didn't just do that. Like, I see a common theme here. She's unloading before she goes to bed. She's taking on more classes. Like, you're just an overachiever all the way around, right? So do you just not like school, or do you like it enough that you want to, like, keep doing it and get through it?
So I don't like doing schoolwork myself. I've always struggled because I got bit with Lyme disease on my eyes. So it really affects my brain and my hearing and my eyesight. So schoolwork and me don't really get along, but I will do it to just get it out of the way so that I can graduate. And my main goal is to become a teacher on the side of being an off-road racer.
Did you hear that, Kurt? He
Kurt.
says she inspires me way more than I ever her. She's amazing.
Yeah, so I couldn't agree with you more, Kurt. Like, and she wants to be a teacher too. How freaking
cool
rad is that? So,
I love the kids.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like, are you gonna do stuff like what Shelby does and like help race her kids and stuff like that too, or do you already do that?
No, definitely. That's something that I have done since I started. I love helping anybody I can. You know, you get those some people that just kind of are to themselves and they don't like sharing advice or anything. But whenever I see somebody struggling or if I see something, I'm like, hey, do this. Like, it's going to help you out. If you don't agree with me, don't do it. Whatever you want, but I'm here to help you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I get a lot of people DM me asking for advice.
Exactly the opposite of every butt-face racer.
On across all industries of racing too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you said it because I didn't have to say
Well,
it.
everybody knows those people at the track that don't want to talk to you and they're like just being jerks. And then you got the other guys
They're
that are
cool.
Yeah, you got the other guys that are cooking tacos like Miles Cheek. You got all the guys that are doing all this fun stuff. Yeah, so we like to hang out with the cool people, right?
Yeah, I'd definitely be someone who's easy to talk to and extremely friendly than someone who's stuck up just because they think that they're good at what they do.
Not to mention, the more competition, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so we got through the school stuff. You want to be a teacher and you want to do stuff like. Do you have any other side hobbies that you like doing?
Yeah, so as I'm doing schoolwork during the week and emailing sponsors and all that kind of stuff every day, I actually volunteered down at a elementary school in a 5th grade classroom, and I will be down there all day just inspiring kids, and they all look up to me, and it's so sweet. Everybody's like, oh my God, there's Brooke Jensen on campus.
That's super cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. How does it make you feel? Do you think like, I'm cool because I'm a racer, I'm cool because I've overcome Lyme disease, because I'm a positive role model? Like, what kind of stuff goes through your head when you're in a situation like that?
They definitely like the whole racing part, but I look at it as I'm inspiring a kid. You know, that kid may not have the best home life at home, but when he comes to school or she comes to school and they see me, they have the brightest smile on their face. One thing I actually did, so on the door, I hung a heart, a heart for a hug, a high five for or a hand for a high five, and then a little dancing guy for a little dance. And at the end of the day, they would slap which one they wanted on the piece of paper. And if it was a high five, I'd give them a high five or a hug or a dance. And it made their day.
That's fun. That would
That's
make my
cool.
day too.
No kidding.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Like, we should do that at like the next the racing at the track when we're there, or like.
You know what you need is some of those giant foam fingers.
Yeah.
With those things on it, a heart, a high five.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
And that's one thing that helped me with going down to the school is it built my immune system. So when I would go to events for racing, I wouldn't get sick from other people. It would just be like my Lyme sickness, what we call it. So it definitely helped my immune system being around all of those kids as well.
That is pretty
Building
cool.
it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Look at how smart she is, doing all these positive things against what her new normal is. All right, so let's get back into the fun talk about racing.
Yeah.
So now you have this Razor 900. You go out and you do good at the UTV World Championship, and you get a race under your belt. Are you like, dude, desert racing isn't what I thought? Like, it's sweet. Like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no, I was stoked after the UTV World Championship. You know, the week after wasn't so great because my body didn't like being in the car that long.
Right.
But it was so much fun, and it was so much fun being in the car for a long time because I'm used to 30 minutes here and there instead of hours on top of hours, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Do you after doing that race, did you like learn a little bit? Were you like, okay, well, since I have diabetes, so when I go in the race car and I do desert races, I always have a granola bar that I can eat while I'm racing. I have maybe sometimes I'll bring a Camelback with water, and I have Skittles in the glove box or something like that. So if I need to, if I have an emergency, I can stop and pull over. But like I'll eat while I'm driving, like at the UTV World or whatever, like. So did you learn a lot of stuff, like how you can be better the next time?
Yeah, definitely. And my co-driver at the time, he knows a lot about my Lyme, so he's constantly checking on me. And one thing that I've noticed that really helps me is fruit cups.
Really?
I'll eat fruit cups during the race, and it honestly, I feel like I restart my body. It's like filling it with gas.
That's super cool, and it's quick too, right?
Keep the simple carbs going.
Yeah, super quick. Right when they're in the pits, you just put it in your mouth and go.
So did you know that a trick that Lance Armstrong used to always do after he got done with the Tour de France day is he drinks a Coke. right when he gets done, because it's like the most processed,
but it's got to be
sugars.
Flat. It has to be flat because the
bubbles, right?
The carbonation actually helps to dehydrate you, so
right.
It needs to be flat.
But the simple sugar,
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, big time.
The or whatever complex sugars or whatever is what he needs in his body,
and the caffeine because it opens the capillaries and gets everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like stuff like that. So the fruit cups might have something different that you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that we kind of got on this subject, not to start talking about all this nutrition crap, but Casey and I were talking about eating smoothies, like when we're done with bicycle rides and stuff. So a lot of times, you just take a muscle milk and you get the protein and stuff like that. But if you can mix something that's for your body, like I get along really well with spinach. I get along really well with coconut yogurt. My body gets along really well with simple low sugar fruits like strawberries or cranberries or something, or blueberries. So if I put all that in a smoothie and drink it right after a bicycle ride, it's like 100 times better than a muscle milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you
How
have
about your In-N-Out smoothie?
that one Mike Gardner did that In-N-Out smoothie. I was doing smash burger. I did like tacos. I did my sister made like these jalapeno popper things. Oh,
so what was the best one?
I don't know, man. Honestly,
it's all terrible.
There was some good ones. I think two of the best ones I'll pick were like this really cinnamony oatmeal that my mom did. Like that was super good. And then it was like so liquidy though. And then I really, really liked this burger from Smash Burger. Like it was a jalapeno guacamole burger. But you had to add like,
oh man,
it sounds so gross, but like when you can't eat and you get that, it's like the best thing ever. I compare like eating dog food to a hamburger. Like that's how I was upgrading. So for me, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you get to a level where you're so down and then you just like get a little bit of like, you're like, yes, this is glorious.
I feel like the In-N-Out with the spread would make it actually taste like you're eating vomit, like fluffy vomit.
Oh, so Mike Gardner was the one that did the In-N-Out one with the spread and stuff, and he used a ladle to put it in too. So I totally feel you on that one. Oh, this one dude did. It was called the Unicorn Blend Up Challenge or something that they ended up doing for me. And this one dude did sardines, hot sauce, and beer.
Oh man.
I know, dude.
Gross.
Oh my god, I was so like, and he spilt it on his overalls because he was wearing overalls.
Perfect.
So, man,
that guy must really love you,
dude, for real, right? Actually, I didn't even know him, but that's pretty awesome that he did it. So Julie Boyer says Brooke is such an awesome role model for all girls who want to be a badass. So that's really cool that she said that too. We got so many comments coming in. I don't even know if we're going to be able to answer them all.
I know another one just like that. Linda Russell Sabiro. She said same thing. Brooke is an inspiration. What a role model for young girls. And I'm going to take it one level and say a role model to humans. Period.
Dude, for real.
This old guy sitting right here is pretty inspired. I can tell you that much.
I know, man. That's super cool.
I really appreciate it.
Well, so enough about blending your hamburgers and stuff like that and all this
Never
nasty
again.
stuff. Let's just stick to the tacos that she had earlier.
Yes, please.
So what was the next thing that we were going to talk about? We were so you went through school and then you got done with the UTV World Championship, and you kind of now know what you do need to get in these other races. What was the next step that you guys took?
Silver State 300.
Did you do good at that race?
Yeah, I want to say, I mean, our trophies right here.
Oh, yeah.
We got first.
Woo-wee, yeah.
A marketing manager in the making.
No,
Yeah.
I love that race. It was so much fun.
That's like the perfect thing. Like, she already had everything ready.
Well,
like,
this speaks highly to the prep.
I know,
Everything she does,
dude.
it's prepped. I love it. It's great.
This is my prep game is so weak compared to hers. I got to step up my prep game. Okay, so you got first place in the Silver State 300. So congratulations.
You did match your hat and your shoes today,
Thank
though.
you.
Oh
So
yeah,
good
true.
job.
Yeah. So Casey always matches like his hat and his shoes. I don't know if you can see. Can you show her your Vans?
Oh yeah.
So he's got checker red Vans.
He's red.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it even matches, like when I look over here out of my left eye, I can see the KMC wheel, and it's got a red center cap on it too. So
I'm making him step up his game a little bit.
Awesome.
yeah, I need to get like some button-up shirts and stuff, I guess. So what was the next races that you did? Did you have other races that you competed in as well?
Yeah, we did the whole Best in the Desert series. So we did UTV World Championships. We did Parker. We did Vegas Torino, which it was an extremely rough race on me, especially with Lyme disease. We did the whole Best in the Desert series in that car.
That's really cool. And not to mention, like, I don't think the Razor 900 is that much of a disadvantage in my opinion, but I've also never been driving a Razor 1000 desert car either. So I think it's cool that you guys are going to build your new desert car. And so this was all 2018 then?
2019.
2019.
This was just last year.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Man, so you did the whole series, huh?
Yeah, and Racing Desert has definitely been a huge aspect for me. Sponsors, a lot of sponsors on board, and meeting a lot of nice, really, really nice people in Desert. That was huge too. But yeah, no, we did the whole Best in the Desert series in the 900, and then starting this season, we did Parker, which was, I don't know why, but it was the hardest race I have ever raced.
Really? Wonder if it was like just
after doing Vegas Torino, and then we had some troubles there and we didn't finish, but we still made it more than halfway through, you know. The car had issues, and then Racing Parker, I was extremely sick with my Lyme. I had a fever. I was freezing. And then the chatter bumps on top of that in that car. I don't know. The shocks must have just really took a big poop on us, because I was going to throw up. And I'm not someone who gets really nauseous in a car. And I pulled over to the side and I told my co-driver, I was bawling my eyes out. I'm like, I give up. And I'm not someone to say I give up. So he starts laughing at me. He's like, you're dumb. Keep going.
Just take a break, get over it.
Yeah, and I'm not someone to stop in the middle of a race. I was exhausted. I got to the finish line and I was so tired.
Who does your shocks right now?
Right now, we actually have been talking with King for the new car.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to go ahead and go out to Barstow in California and test the suspension out there.
That's super cool. Since you've already mentioned it, who are some of the people that help sponsor you and help support your guys' racing program?
We have a huge background of supporters, starting with Rugged Radios, who's been there since day one. Method
Rugged.
Race Wheels. We have Pro Eagle, Savage UTV. We have Renegade Products, Shreddy Life. I mean, I could name on for forever. We have GBC Tires. They have really helped out. As you can tell, we got a big stack behind us of brand new tires. But yeah, no, everybody that helps me, I'm so appreciative of everybody and the opportunities that they give me and believing in me. Starting out so young, you know, I do it all on my own. I do all my sponsorships, all the emailing. Like, my parents make me do that.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to learn and to have in your back pocket, especially as you grow.
Yeah.
Do you guys have?
And so, yeah.
Do you guys have other people that are looking to help you with your program?
Yeah, we're willing for any kind of help. We're a small team, and we're a small team with dreams, determination, and not giving up.
Obviously.
Anybody who would like to help us out.
So when she says
Anybody
dreams,
who would like to help us out.
could you imagine being in her head, like when she goes to sleep, like some of the dreams that she has are probably super cool, like some of the racing dreams or like some of the fun stuff?
My body literally will not sleep. I have so much energy, and I'm always so like uppity going that I have to take sleeping medicine every single night to make myself sleep.
Yeah, it's probably because you want to just keep getting stuff done.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, so we have a couple more questions for you, but we have to take a commercial break right now. Yeah, it's 7:50, so we're a couple minutes behind. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back with Brook Jensen. We'll see you guys in just a second.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Yeah, finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch, you can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like let's say a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there, or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah. Also, as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hop lock, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's
the
like a first
truck.
aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Welcome back, everybody. Still episode 38, man. We're just trucking along. Thank you guys very much for having this second commercial break with us and allowing us to go get a drink of water. I'd like to welcome Jason Merrill to the show of the Rockstar Energy UTV Wolfpack. He's joined here with Brook Jensen still. It's pretty awesome to see both of you guys, man. I miss you, Jason, and hearing Brook's story, dude, got me all energized.
Totally. All of us.
Can you hear us, Jason?
Yeah, phone cut there for a second. I'm obviously I just got in my car. I'm driving. Yeah, everything's good over here. How's everything with you, Brook?
It's good, just waiting for race season to get back and going.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what everyone's trucking on, is just everything getting back to normal. I think
it's hard to lose motivation, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it gives you a lot of time to prep your car and get it ready for the racing.
Yeah, it's going to be nice because once everybody gets off that start line, there's going to be a lot of cars broke because people are impatient.
Yeah, no kidding. People got too lazy. We're eating, watching George's Taco Tuesdays, and we're out having tacos instead of actually working on their cars.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen the progression of all the stuff that you've been doing, and I mean, definitely we want to talk about having Wolfpack on the side of the car and see what that takes to get you on board.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm down for anything, anything that gets me in a seat and me racing, I'll get in it.
So Jason, we know that you were working and you may not have been able to watch the show, but I think it's a very, very valuable asset to be on a part of Brook's racing team. The amount of comments and love that she gets and the support mechanism that she has behind her team has been bar none. She's one of the top-rated guests as far as interactions go, and she's been doing a very, very good job. And the things that she's been saying about her race program, not sleeping, making sure the car's prepped, and all that stuff is a very, very solid program that her and her dad have put together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, we would be stoked to help out. I mean, anybody that knows my brother and I, and regardless if we sponsor someone or they're, if they're sponsored by a competitor, if they're at the track, I mean, we will always, stop doing what we're doing to help someone make sure they get on the track. And obviously with stuff like what she's doing, we keep an eye on everyone in the industry and we see everything that everyone's doing and the heart they put into it. As much as people put in or as little as people put in, we see everything. I mean, we're not dull to the industry. We definitely have watched her progress from, when she first started to now, and she's definitely made a huge progression, and we would love to be a part of that.
Dude, that is super cool. That's a first for the Dirt Life, too, so thank you very much for offering that to her, Jason, and congratulations, Brook. We hope you guys can work together.
Thank you. That means so much to me, and see how much people see when I put into it and what my family puts in, and me and my dad in the garage every single day, every single weekend. It definitely means a lot. I really appreciate that.
Well, it's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
Go ahead, Jason.
A lot of the stuff that we do, the one thing that being a racer and coming from the racing industry, when we do deals with people, we treat it more of like a family partnership, because the reality is we do love them when people get on the box. I mean, that's obviously a plus, and, any marketing efforts that you do out of it. But we also understand that, every race isn't a number 1, number 5th, number 6. It could be a 20th, could be a 30th, it could be a 15th, it could be a first place. No matter how it's broken down, we want to support you throughout the year to make sure that you have the tools to succeed. But regardless of those, as long as we see that you're determined and you're making it and you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, we want to obviously support you with that, because we know that every race does not go as planned. I mean, you could literally have a fully prepped car and go 5 miles and get a flat tire. The flat tire ends up ripping a brake line apart, it just turns into a gremlin. So, we understand people have bad seasons and good seasons. I mean, we've been through our fair share of winning championships to, not doing good to doing better to getting, up front and then having a stupid failure of a tire or just, a rim or something, a brake line. We've been there. So.
Yeah.
And I love that. All these things going on. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen out there. You guys stay so positive about it.
100%. We just want to support you to make sure that, you get across the line, whatever that takes.
Well,
I'm really, really excited. From being nervous to come on the show to this at the end of it. That's huge. I really appreciate it.
So awesome.
Well, I think you're doing a really good job with your racing program, Brooke. We're gonna let you go, Jason. We're gonna give Brooke a call back just so we can hook you guys up, or I can put you in contact and send you Brooke's contact information so you guys can get her dialed in and help her with her new build.
Yeah, George has all my information, so just get everything from him and shoot me an email, and then we can sit down and discuss what you need, and obviously what we can help you out with. What going into, I think 2020, right? Is that still anything left of it?
Yeah.
Are we gonna finish?
Are we talking this year, next year, or 2023?
Oh man.
But all joking aside, I mean, what your plans going in are? What are you racing for this year? Are you in a 1000? Are you?
So we just recently purchased a car, and we actually just purchased a turbo. So we've been testing nonstop, getting that thing ready to be race ready and get up on the box.
Okay, well, we make a decent amount of parts for that car.
Just a few, right?
I'm sure you'll recognize the car once I send you a picture of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cool.
Well,
is it one of my old cars?
I wish we could have got a hold of one of those.
It's funny because every once in a while I see somebody post up one of my old cars, and we probably have. I mean, I don't know, since I've been racing for 8 years in the 1000s. Obviously 900s. I actually saw a 900 come up the other day. That was one of ours, and that car must have been 8 years old, 7 years old. I mean, George bought one of the original 900s when we were racing short course.
I was just telling her that's one of my favorite cars.
Last season, I was racing.
That's how we met. That's how George and I met. George called me and he's like, "Hey, I want to buy your 900," and he's like, "I'm in Arizona." I'm like, "Yeah, this guy's not going to show up." He shows up, and he's like just talking, and lo and behold, 8 years later, we actually ended up becoming really good friends, and he's still around, and he's like family. So.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
pretty
one thing I
cool.
love about off-road is the connections that we build and the friendships.
Yeah, it's funny because we don't even
100%.
race. We don't even race together anymore, but we're super good friends.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's awesome people in the industry for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's honestly like when we go to the racetrack and we're out there, I mean, racing is a big part of it, but the experiences and the adventures that go along with it are big. And obviously for us as a company, if you've watched a lot of the stuff we do, the family values are a big thing to us, being respectful, win or lose, you show up to the track. If you break, instead of just going to your hotel room and calling it a day, if you're completely done for the day, I mean, you go into another person's pit and start helping them. I mean,
Yep.
I can't explain how many people, if something happens catastrophic where I can't get back on the track, I'm still in my race suit. I'll go grab a gas can and go pit for other people and help them and make sure that other people finish. Just because I didn't have the chance to something happen, I make sure that, pay it forward. And there's been so many times where I wasn't even racing. Like, I just went to go spectate, like King of the Hammers. And literally, like, I had my chase truck and I handed someone an ECU, and the only reason that they finished that race, I got an email later saying that the only reason they finished like 9th or 10th.
Dang.
And so, but
That's
literally,
huge.
he wasn't even 5 miles out of the gate, and his car was already crapping out. And it sucks because you spend thousands of dollars in your weekends and, weeks prepping a car and getting it ready. You have a lot of people there to make it 5 miles or 10 miles or whatever, and have something stupid, small happen that you didn't have a part for. I just remember one time, and I'll never repeat the team's name because they're still a pretty big team. I raced King of the Hammers one year, and I pulled up, and they had like 5 gas cans in the back of their car. And I asked them for some gas, and the guy that was running the team said no. And literally, like, I needed like 4 gallons. And he said no to me, and I'm like, and I've never forgot that. And that was almost 6 years ago, and I've never forgot that. And I'm like, dude, one day it'll come back around to that guy where something like that happens and then someone says no to him. So I've just made it, a rule. Anybody in my pit knows that if someone's coming across the board, if I have spare parts, as long as my car's okay, my guys are allowed to work on other people's cars as long as I'm not in the area. They're allowed to help other people, and they're allowed to give people parts off my truck as long as I don't need them.
That's super cool. So one of the things
that's part of why we're out there.
One of the things that I just noticed, Brooke, is that when you have sponsors like that, and we talk about sponsorships and partnerships all the time, when you have somebody like what Jason was just talking about, let's just say he is the UTV Wolfpack. They make all kinds of different parts, right? So they make tie rods, radius rods, all these stuff. That's not just what he's doing when he's partnering up with somebody. He's giving everything that he has to another person because that's what kind of partner he is. That's the kind of people you want to team up with. And you and your dad have learned that, obviously, throughout your racing career. So I'm glad that you guys have the opportunity to work together. So hopefully you guys can make it happen.
Yeah, this will definitely be a huge opportunity for me and my dad and our team. I don't even know what to say right now. It's going to be awesome. And he's going to put his trust in me to make a name out of myself with his company, So I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
Cool. We're stoked. George, get her some info and then hit me up when you have a chance. You can hit me up this week or next week, Brooke.
Awesome. I'm really excited. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
right,
Jason.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Jason, for offering that tour. We'll see you later, bud.
Absolutely.
Thanks for calling me, man. Later.
Yeah, later. I don't know if he hangs up. There we go. So, Brooke, you want to just stay on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm not going to adjust it. We'll just stay in our seats and leave it the way it is. So we have a couple more questions. And first of all, congratulations. That is super cool. Like,
hard work paying off.
Can you believe that? The first time, first time for the Dirt Life show, but damn, that's so cool. A sponsorship acquisition on our show.
Yeah, and it's really cool because, me getting that is amazing. And the people watching, there's my friends out there, there's fans, and there's people also upcoming racers who get to experience those situations live, so it can help them figure out how they can get those kind of partnerships too.
Exactly.
So that was really cool. I'm glad we did that live.
Well, you did a great job. So it wasn't us that did it. It was you that did it. You're the one that got the sponsorship, not us. We're not out there driving a car and being an awesome person. So, all right. Well, we got a couple more questions. What does the future hold for you? And I know it's kind of up in the air because you don't have like racing right this second, but I know you have some goals. Yeah. Like, where do you want to be at the end of 2020? Where do you want to be in 2025? Like, what does the future look like for Brook Jensen Racing?
Definitely a bright future. I'm not someone who's going to settle for anything less. I will work as hard as I can until I achieve my goals, and anything's possible. I don't care if I'm 80 years old and I'm still working for that one goal. I've definitely been getting my feet wet in trophy trucks and big trucks. That is a huge goal of mine. Sarah Price is one of my great friends, and she inspires me. Jessie Combs was a beautiful badass, and she inspires me more than anything to not have fear, I definitely will never stop racing. Hopefully I can say that forever, but right now my goals are to never stop racing. I really want to own my own business and become successful in that. It's going to take a lot of hard work and determination, but I know I can get there. And just inspire anybody I can, and hopefully one day find a cure for Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's super cool. I like the last part too, the inspiration and the cure for Lyme disease. Even if you don't find a cure for Lyme disease, which I know is a difficult thing, like I always thought finding a cure for spinal cord injuries would be easy too, right? But you're still making a difference, and that is the most important thing.
For sure.
Yeah, I had a huge opportunity this year for Monster Jam, but since I'm only 17, I try to grow up a little too fast. They actually took another female, which I was super happy for her as well.
You're gonna laugh when you get one of our questions here in a little bit.
I'm already excited for it.
Totally.
All right. So can you please tell everybody how we have a rapid fire Q&A, so we're not just leaving just yet, but can you please tell everybody how to get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. You can reach out to me by Instagram. It's brook.jensen.racing. There's also an email in there. It's brookjensenracing519@gmail.com. Facebook, Messenger, Twitter. I'll always answer. I love talking to new people and always giving advice. And see me in person, come up to me. I promise I'm not scary. I'll always hold a big smile and make you laugh.
She won't bite unless you're a taco.
Yeah, unless you're a taco.
So, and if you guys don't feel like typing it in, you guys can always look at our Dirt Life Show page. If you're friends with Dirt Life Show on social media, we've posted a lot of stuff on Brook, and you can get those links directly from there. And reach out to the Dirt Life anytime you guys want. If you guys want to talk to her, or if you guys have anything that you'd like to ask and you want us to relay the message, we're happy to do so as well. All right, so we're getting kind of close to the end of the interview. You want to do a rapid fire Q&A with us?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's do it. Case, you want to go first?
Are we going to actually finally get the answer we want?
I hope so. I'm like, all my fingers are crossed right now.
I can't wait. All right, Brooke. iRacing or real racing?
What was that?
iRacing or real racing? I think we know the answer.
Real racing.
Of course.
Have you tried the iRacing stuff yet?
I haven't. I really want to, but I'd rather spend the money that I have putting into my car than a video game.
Dude, I feel you on that.
Good
but
call.
Check this out. So Ethan Ebert and Luke Knupp were on last week, and so I get to go to Ethan's house on Wednesday, so 2 days from now, and we're gonna eat good food first of all, and then I get to try out his iRacing thing. What are they called? I
don't even know.
Like
apparatus?
Isn't it a simulator?
Simulator.
Yeah. Okay.
So I get to try that, and I'm kind of excited about it. And he's gonna do all this crazy racing, and I'm gonna just go over there and hang out. So I get to see it. But dude, I think it's gonna be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I tried it in Wisconsin, and it is so much fun. I wish we could afford one.
What did you do?
But, it was actually John Holcher's in his house, and he has the whole thing set up, and it honestly feels so real.
But was it short course or was it NASCAR or what was it?
It was short course. It was the short course track.
Oh, nice.
So it was a Pro 4 or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pumped.
That was fun.
Yeah.
The sound is just it gives you butterflies.
Oh, there's all that stuff? You can hear it and everything?
Oh, yeah. You can hear the sound and everything.
Dude, I can't wait. I have a
You're
feeling.
gonna have fun.
I have a feeling I don't even understand what it's gonna be like.
It's probably awesome.
All right. Are you into Supercross and motocross?
110% Supercross.
All right. So Barsha or Webb?
Webb.
You're going Webb? You can pick Tomac or somebody too. You could have been nah, those aren't my guys.
Favorite food?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
So
can I say American?
You can, but that's kind of boring. You got to give more of a specific answer.
Okay.
Cheeseburger blended.
Just because I had it tonight, I'd say tacos. Street tacos.
Did you hear what Casey said? Cheeseburger blended. Oh, man. Little Smokies or pizza rolls?
Pizza rolls.
Yeah, nice. Favorite soda?
Dr. Pepper.
That's a get. I knew it. Yes.
Everybody. Uggs or Crocs?
Because it's the best.
Did you say Uggs?
Uggs or Crocs?
Yeah, Uggs.
California, of course.
Yeah, but so have you heard like the jokes about Crocs? Like, and I tease my dad and mom about it all the time because they like wearing Crocs. But how you can put your Crocs in 4-wheel drive? You
Turn
just,
the yeah.
you just turn the thing,
Turn it upside
and
down.
it puts
That's
your Crocs in
hilarious.
4-wheel drive.
I'm gonna have to tell Dawn that. Big D's.
Okay, so you picked Uggs then, obviously.
Okay, most memorable race.
And this doesn't have to be one that you won. It can be something like, I don't know, one that you had a lot of adversity or whatever it was.
Missouri.
Yeah, because you flipped so hard.
Yeah.
15 rolls. 15 pizza rolls.
Wait, so does that actually answer the question? Because she forgot what happened when she was in the accident, but it's her most memorable race?
Oh, yeah. What's up? This is like Twilight
Yeah,
Zone.
this is like a catch-22 right here.
Matrix.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
That malt one that's new.
What is it?
It's like malt. It's like, it has little marshmallows in it. Oh my gosh, it's killer.
Dang.
Ski or snowboard?
Ski. I like stand-ups, but we'll say ski.
Oh, you're talking about ski like jet ski? That's what we were going with like
But yeah,
doubles.
that's what I was thinking. But an actual ski, I would probably say snowboard then if we're talking snow.
Snow.
Have you seen those dudes that snowboard in the sand dunes?
That's
they
pretty
like
cool.
Yeah, they get pulled by like razors and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that's dogs or cats?
Oh, that's a hard one.
You can say both.
I would say cats just because I have the most adorable one.
All of the above.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Burrito or taco?
Taco.
And we know this answer.
Yes.
Supercross or motocross?
Yeah, you already answered Supercross.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, this is and I get to answer it this time, or I get to ask the question this time. Okay, so I've been really wanting somebody to say this one answer. What other form of racing would you like to try?
Could be
Monster
any.
Jam.
Oh,
Yes!
yes!
I win! Yes!
Finally.
Dude! Oh, you're my savior. We've been waiting so long for that answer.
It's usually a lead-in, like, what's your favorite racing? Like, it could be monster truck.
And they always blow me out to pick something else, too. Yay!
All right, so we're going to wrap up with the most important question, even though we won, finally. Chips and guacamole or fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, good. You pass. We'll take you.
I can't believe we got Monster Jam.
Dude, I'm so happy. Like, you just made my whole week. Like, so.
Hey, when I get there, you're coming with me.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, I'm perfect. You can just put the GoPro in there, and I'll just, like, stream it live to my phone so I can pretend like I'm driving.
I love it.
What kind of truck would you get? Like, how would you dress it up? What kind of shell would you put on it?
Definitely an energy drink. That's my next biggest goal. I don't know. I would want to do something like crazy that the kids love.
So
like every single time that like you're out there, you destroy the body and like maybe like something comes out.
So
like maybe like
the Hamburglar?
Well, hold on. I got a really good idea, and just get with my idea real quick. So
Okay.
you're talking about destroying the body, right?
Uh-huh.
What destroys your body? It was a tick. So why don't you make your monster truck a tick and
A big
destroy the
giant
crap
tick.
out of it?
There you go.
do you know how aggressive I would get if
You would kill that thing.
Yeah, you would.
That would be so cool. Well, thank you very much.
Amazing.
Thank you very much for putting a smile on my face, even before we had the monster truck discussion. We really appreciate it. I think you taught both Casey and myself a lot tonight about motivation, determination,
Perseverance, preparation, and the list goes on.
Yeah, and the list goes on. And thank you for just being an awesome person. Like, you've done so much in your young life for making a name for yourself in off-road. You got a sponsorship offer on a show. Like, that is so cool.
Huge sponsorship.
And those guys aren't just a sponsorship, they're a family, and it would be really cool to see you guys and your family, get along well with them, because it's just like a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. So I really wish you good luck with the UTV Wolfpack guys, and please tell your family that we said hello. We are jealous that you guys ate tacos, but they did a very, very good job, and you have a very loving family.
Thank you. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you guys having me.
It was a great time. Should we catch a couple last ones real quick before we
Would
go?
you like to hear some of these people just giving you all this great comments and stuff?
Absolutely. So your
I would love to hear them.
Your old teacher Kurt chimed in. That's my girl. Brian Sibero, Brook, you're a huge inspiration. Keep doing what you keep accomplishing those goals.
That's my co-driver.
Awesome. Hi, Brook. It's Ava. I'm so proud of you. So cool to see you doing amazing things.
Yep.
Also very cool that the guy interviewing has diabetes. Mr. Diabetic over here.
Yep. So Nainer3 has type 1 diabetes too.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Brietta.
Yeah, Beretta. Yeah,
Thank you, bro. Keep working hard. Girls rule. Hashtag girls rule. I think my daughters would say that, wouldn't they?
Yep, exactly.
You're going to be inspiring them right now. I can tell you that.
And she put, heck yeah, you're awesome. Cool. Well, you got a lot of positive feedback today on your show. I really appreciate you guys coming on and taking the time with us, Brooke. You've done an amazing job from start to finish. Everything that you've done and all the effort that you've put into not only this opportunity, but the stuff that's come back and as you're doing for your sponsors, you're doing amazing. So keep up the good work, okay?
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
No problem. You guys have a good night, and please tell your family we said hello. Hopefully we see you at the races soon.
We will. Thank you.
Okay. If you don't mind just hitting the red button so you can hang up, and we'll put the sponsors back on the TV here. So thank you very much, Brooke. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you very much, Brooke. That was super, super cool. Like, I can't believe that she's got so much positivity. We were talking about this. Was it you and I or somebody else? But how positivity reflects positive things happening in your life. Mm-hmm. Like, if you can just think about what cool will happen, something cool will happen.
Like she said with her theory.
What was that?
If I have a smile, I'm going to project it on somebody else, and they're going to project it back to me and make me happy.
Does that mean that it keeps like a mirror that it keeps seeing back and forth, and you have like infinity smiles? Yeah. So thank you very much, Brooke, for taking the time with us. We really appreciate it. That was pretty freaking awesome of the UTV Wolfpack guys and Jason Maryland.
No doubt.
His brother Jeremy running the UTV Wolfpack. I think that's a match made in heaven with the amount of loyalty that they have with the people that they support. Mm-hmm. They don't just make good products; they make good family. And
they picked a great one, a great addition, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much to Jason and Jeremy Merrill of the UTV Wolfpack for helping support her. Thank you very much to our sponsors. We really appreciate everybody. Shock Therapy, use the code DIRTLIFE to save a whole bunch of money on their products over there. We had Brian and Joe. They saved a whole bunch of money on theirs, too, for using that. Jeff Angel on his IQS system used the code and saved a whole bunch of money. So please support our guys, too. Thank you very much to the guys at Rugged Radios for doing the giveaway. Thank you to the Solder Weld guys. Again, we're going to have a giveaway next week, so please pay attention to our social media for that. Thank you to the guys at KMC Wheels, Ryan over there. Obviously, they're making awesome products. Those guys do good. They supplied a red hat so it can match Casey's red shoes. So
yes, thanks.
That was pretty crucial, and Ryan will actually like that, by the way.
But I need a candle, bro. Bad.
You can just take that one.
Yeah, but then we can't smell it here.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to have Ryan send us another candle.
Please, Ryan, help.
Thank you to the guys at Zollinger Racing Products. Use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Those guys won the Mint 400, and they did a very good job. So make sure that you go over and check out their products because clearly it's working. Yeah, we really appreciate everybody, man. It's just super cool to have everybody on the show. And thank you guys so much for putting in so much effort into commenting in on Brook's show tonight. All of this interaction is exactly what we're looking for. We want as many people to watch the show and to be involved in the show as possible, and you guys did a fantastic job tonight. Thank you very much, Chris and Matlock, for calling in. Thank you very much, Parker James, for calling in. You guys helped give us a little bit, shed some light on the UTV World Championships, shed some light on Brook, and man, it was just a great show. I really appreciate everybody so much.
Fun time for sure.
Exactly. And do you have any shout-outs before we mention our next guest?
I don't know. Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Mother's Day. That was good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Pop's hanging in there, doing all right,
good, man.
Living his best life he can live.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. Well, next week then we have our featured guest is going to be in studio, and we're going to have another Moto Monday.
Sweet.
Our guest is Cade Clayson. He's a professional supercross racer and just an all-around good guy. And who'd have thought, man? He lives in Tucson, Arizona.
That's crazy.
So it's pretty cool to see. It's neat to see that. We were actually talking about it the other day. There's very few people that have made it to the top level of supercross. Well, I don't want to say top level. The top level of a sport. You know, we weren't at the top level of that game of supercross, but
Sure.
And he's one of them.
It's awesome.
So it's pretty cool. So when he comes in studio, there'll be 3 people from Tucson, Arizona that have made it to the supercross level in one room.
Pretty cool.
So it'll be pretty neat, man. I'm stoked for that. So, and obviously Moto Monday.
Long time ago for me, though.
Dude, it was like ages ago for both of us.
So when you said 96, I was like, ouch.
Yeah. That was when we were trying to get to that point,
exactly.
But still, man. So we can't wait to have Cade Clayson come in.
Sure.
And a funny text just to kind of give you a little bit of his personality before. I texted him and said, we have food at the studio before we'll go live on the show. And I said, do you want tacos, or do you have something special that you eat on your motocross diet? He goes, dude, I'm a twig. I'll eat anything. So
perfect.
We are going to have some tacos, Supercross tacos next Moto Monday. So thank you very much, everybody. We really, really appreciate it. We hope you guys had an awesome Mother's Day, all you moms out there. And thank you very much for watching the show. We will see you guys next week with Cade Clayson. Love you.
Have a good one. See ya.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.